Sievertson. Iran's going to feel it tonight, says Hegseth, echoing what President Trump said earlier today from the U.S. Military Central Command at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth tried to force Iran to sign a deal ending the war.
CENTCOM, Central Command, will be busy tonight because President Trump said we will be hitting Iran hard, and we will be.
Israel's defense minister said today the campaign against Iran is far from over. New air attacks between Iran and the U.S. have led to oil prices going up today and Wall Street stock indexes closing sharply lower. Hegseth also saying President Trump's right when he said today that a secret mission last month allowed hundreds of oil tankers to travel through the Strait of Hormuz. This after reporters at the White House asked about the latest report showing the highest inflation in 3 years.
I love the inflation. You know why?
And then he talked about the oil tankers. This is ABC News. It's the first new ultraviolet filter for sunscreens in more than 20 years. The FDA announcing it's added an ingredient to its list of what is permitted in sunscreens. It's engineered to sit on top of the skin, not penetrating deeply, but still preventing UV rays from causing damage. ABC's Sony Salzman.
I just can't emphasize enough how much dermatologists and the broader skincare community have been clamoring for this for so long. And I think the bottom line here is that American sunscreen is about to get a huge upgrade.
The ingredient has been in sunscreen in other countries for decades. Honda's recalling more than 800,000 vehicles because rear suspension components may fail, increasing the risk of a crash. China's passenger car exports jumped 73% year-on-year in May to around 809,000 vehicles, says a Chinese industry group. Higher gasoline and diesel prices due to the war in Iran raised interest in electric vehicles. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Coming up, a new era for SeaTac Airport.
Very exciting. The walls will come down.
Celebrating the end of a major construction project after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
And this is brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. We've got a collision up in Mountain Lake Terrace. It's blocking all eastbound lanes of State Route 104 just before I-5 on the east side of I-5 there. The right lane, westbound 104, is also blocked at the scene. We do have a tow on scene, so all lanes should reopen momentarily. Just hang in there. In Northgate, northbound I-5, it's bumper to bumper starting at Lake City Way up to Northgate Way from a recent collision that just cleared, so this backup should start to thin out. South 5 is packed at Lake City Way to I-90, 25 minutes from Linwood in the downtown. North 5 heavy from the Michigan Curve up to the Columbia Towers. Seattle to Federal Way plan on 40 minutes with our typical backup starting at the Duwamish Curve to 516. And Bellevue to Renton right now is up to a half hour, pretty thick through Bellevue starting at 520 down past Coal Creek Parkway. Don't miss fireworks nights all summer long, presented by T-Mobile. The next show is June 19th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Just days before the first World Cup match, SeaTac Airport opens a redesigned and expanded Concourse C. Managing Director Wendy Ryder says it features 11 shops and restaurants and forest-inspired seating areas.
I can't wait to see what the passengers are going to be like. What happened, right? The experience is just going to be amazing.
But Port of Seattle Commissioner Sam Cho says the region is running out of room for air travelers, telling the G and Ursula Show the airport was initially built for 30 million people.
Last year, we did 53.4, all right? So at a certain point, SeaTac will break.
The new Concourse C opens to passengers tomorrow morning, 4 a.m. Bellevue police say that so-called OnlyFans house is just one of many properties involved in a human trafficking ring. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu with more.
3 of the properties are in Bellevue, the mansion, which investigators raided last week. Before that, they say the operation was based out of the penthouse and the lake house. Investigators say Nikita Chukalo was evicted from the Bellevue lake house located in the Newport Shores subdivision after about a month.
Chukalo is the only arrest in this case so far. Court records allege at least 2 other men are involved. A victim in our state lost more than $2 million to a scheme promising to lift a bad luck love curse. Federal prosecutors say a Texas couple posed as psychics, convincing at least 3 victims to send cash and gold for so-called cleansing rituals that never worked. Investigators say the suspects targeted people dealing with grief, isolation, or relationship struggles. Suspects now face multiple fraud charges. They could get up to 20 years in prison if convicted. 2 more gray whales have been found dead along Washington's coastlines this month. Brings the total up to 27 that have washed ashore in our state alone this year.
According to the Cascadia Research Collective, one of the whales was reported on June 1st at Point Granville, the other on June 7th at Olympic National Park near Ruby Beach. Marine biologists say many of the dead whales appear to have died from starvation.
That is KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon reporting. Now to your forecast, looking at a nice afternoon, mix of clouds and sunshine, highs in the mid-60s. We'll heat up into the 70s for Thursday and Friday, 80s, maybe even 90s come Sunday. Right now, 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Oh, yeah! Justice prevails in Cleella. I'm back. I wanted to take the day off. I didn't want to take the day off. I wanted to go to court, win, come back and work.
But you scheduled the day off.
I just assumed I would be in there longer. It would be like days and days of trial, and then the press would be there. And
jury sequestered.
Oh, the whole thing. I think it took 20 minutes. I should have just gone into work. But Jacob's like, no, I already scheduled someone.
It's true, though.
Yeah, I know, but look at you. Okay, so you call the 2 people you scheduled. Hey, sorry, I don't need you.
Right.
Or you disappoint the 28, 29 people that listen to this show. It's a math problem.
Well, speaking of math, I was trying to do the math on what time that would have gotten you here. I think it would have been about 1:32.
I can roll in like I haven't done any work.
I mean, you didn't read anything that I
got it. All right, like Ferguson phone ban, giving every parent a fall guy, including me.
Yeah.
All right.
Who wrote that?
Charlie Harker.
Yes.
Okay, that on the phone ban thing. Okay, so the state of Washington. So how are they going to enforce that? Are the kids going to sneak the phones in? What'd you refer to it as? A prison wallet? So there's that. All right.
Wait,
See
hang
that?
on,
I need to read it.
No. Just keep those in order, please.
You're putting them down in order. Gen Z rejecting $200 dates and choosing solo maxing. Why dating apps are failing? It's because the kids. I'm just going to go through these real fast. They were sheltered from and protected from failing, which is calling somebody up, asking the person out on a date and having the person reject you, or asking the person out on a date at school or something like that. But everybody's too afraid. I see it even with kids that I know that are little kids, like they're 22 years old, but I don't know how to ask somebody out. All right, that's a social problem. Bang. Killing the mood. Smart. This is all the same sort of stuff, Joe.
It's the same segment.
Oh, good news. Here's good news real quick before I get to this piece I saw Danny West need. The good news is the Me Too movement and toxic masculinity is gone. We never have to worry about it again.
Oh.
They've eliminated it.
Look forward to
All
that.
you have to do is vote for that guy in Maine. And we got rid of it. I didn't know how they were going to get rid of it, but we did. So no more Me Too. Believe all women. Out the door. You don't have to do that anymore. You can be as gross as a guy as you want to be, and it's not a problem anymore. Because
I didn't realize he got accused of rape.
Who?
Plattner.
Did he?
No.
It has rape's the worst, but like sexual harassment or abuse or beating somebody up, that's not part of the Me Too thing.
I don't think he got accused of beating somebody. Grabbing a girl's arm, but not hurting her was the official accusation.
Okay, and then putting her in a room and not letting her come out until she calmed down. Just generally, when his girlfriend, who is Republican, is now people go, oh, you're just trying to destroy him. So no, Me Too is whatever the woman says, believe her. It doesn't have to be rape.
Oh, I see.
Right? It's just believe all women. That's what we were taught. But I'm glad that it's gone because I didn't think that was always the best way to go. I think you just try to look at each case and say, well, is this person lying or is this person lying? And why are they telling the truth or why are they not telling the truth, regardless of what social construct their gender is. Okay. Now, hold on to something else.
Okay.
Let me enjoy some of this bourbon. We used to make fun of my sister because she swallows very loudly.
Really?
Yeah. So she never drank. My mom would make iced tea, and at dinner time, she wouldn't drink anything, and then she'd have to go in the other room and drink her iced tea by herself.
Oh, that's nice of you guys. I'm sure that didn't cause any complications.
Poor Lori. Oh, my God. The damage we did to that poor girl. All right. I sold this piece. Danny Westney had it in there, right? Here he is in the LA Times. Can you be rich and unhappy? According to the State of Nation policy, yes. And Washington State fits the bill. Danny Westney has a piece in the Times today. Washington State is both rich and miserable, study finds. And then Danny says, but what's jarring about the study and why I'm highlighting it is that all this wealth, this money, and these business activities isn't making us happy. It's quite the opposite. So I looked up the State of Nation Project gathered and analyzed 30-year trend lines from federal agencies. The latest data point they have is from 2022 to 2024, so it's not exactly hot off the press sort of stuff. That coupled with happiness polls that are used to state preferences, like how happy are you? It all depends on when you ask the person. It might be raining out, their dog might have just died, media consumption, something else going on in their life, political tribalism, they can't stand the person's in the White House, so they're unhappy. So those happiness polls, they swing all over the place. You really can't look at those. But putting all of this sort of stuff aside, whether it's old data or happiness, can you be wealthy and happy? And here's some shocking news. You can also be happy without being wealthy. Of course, being wealthy makes life a lot more comfortable. You get more choices with your money. More importantly, you have more control of your time, right? That's like working stiffs don't have to worry about. If you're a working stiff, you got worry about your time. You have a limited amount of time to spend doing stuff you really want to do. So, of course, being wealthy makes life more comfortable. And, of course, you get all the choices. Everything's better for you. Income inequality is often used by folks on the left as the driver of unhappiness. And it gets really complicated when you start to look at income inequality. Danny writes, economic prosperity here isn't broadly shared. So a share of Washington residents may feel like they're constantly falling behind or already out of the race entirely. So if getting up and going to work every single day is some sort of foot race rather than a rat race, I could see where somebody would feel like they are falling behind or out of a race entirely. But work is not a race. There's no finish line. You're not competing against somebody else outside of your field. So an accountant is not competing against an auto body repairman to get to some point of the race to scoop up bags of money that are along the route. Life is not the television show Survivor. The available money to be earned is not fixed. A sure way to be miserable is not only to compare yourself to the Joneses, but go over in the middle of the night and key their car. So countries that have been able to take money from one group of people and give it to another group of people to make them more satisfied, it doesn't always work. A place like Costa Rica has great income inequality, but they rank higher in the United States when it comes to happiness. Why is that? So in the study that Danny was looking at, and he wrote about in the Times, he mentions Minnesota. So Minnesota ranks higher than Washington when it comes to satisfaction in life and does better with income distribution. So it's an income distribution problem. If the government stepped in, took the money from one group, gave it to another group, everybody would be happier. Is that the idea? They'd everybody be happier? Westney uses the cost of a ticket to go to the World Cup and suggests that people that can't afford to go to the World Cup are seeing other people that can, and therefore it's making them miserable. Okay. I suggest that if you want to be happy, you want to save $1,000 or $2,000, whatever it costs for a World Cup ticket, get $2.30 and go to Big Al's Bowling Alley in Minnesota. You see, at Big Al's Bowling Alley on Wednesday, you can bowl and you can rent shoes for about $3.95. That's a special that they have. And you'll be a lot happier than sitting in Seattle at the World Cup, even if you got the tickets for free from Katie Wilson. See, it's not the money. It's your time and how you spend it. So comparing Washington and Minnesota, here's what you're going to find. you'll see a couple of things that really sort of stand out that do a better job of explaining why people in Washington might be richer but miserable. Minnesota people volunteer more. Minnesota people go to church more. Minnesota people go to more groups, more associations. They join the Eagles. They join the Rotary. They join women's groups. They're in a variety of nonprofits that depend on volunteering, and they spend more of their time in service and in action with other real human beings. A person in Minnesota will spend the time around people helping them or trying to pick up the 1-9 split on their team. You see, when Robert Putnam came out with a book called Bowling Alone back in the year 2000, he noticed that people were still bowling, but they weren't bowling in groups. They were isolated and less connected to their fellow man, unless you consider picking up a foot or toe fungus from unclean bowling shoes, some way to connect with your fellow man. Danny goes on to write, how can we be so prosperous but yet so dissatisfied? It's a cliche that money can't buy love or happiness, but does it make us miserable as well? Again, Danny and anybody else out there that feels this way, it's not about the dollar. It's about how you spend your time. If a tech employee pulling in $250,000 a year goes home at the end of the day, avoids eye contact with his neighbor in the elevator, closes the door, locks it, orders DoorDash, goes online, plays a video game, or watches Netflix. If our tech bro were asked whether or not he was happy at that very moment, I don't know what his answer would be. But if you were to ask a woman who just finished working 12 hours and then volunteered for 6 hours, washing dishes, taking dogs for a walk, or maybe teaching a fourth grader how to read, I can tell you just about guarantee that that woman would tell you, tired but satisfied, that she is happy. It's about how we spend our time with each other, one another. You don't want to be happy, then if you want to be happy, put on some bowling shoes and make sure you're not bowling alone. It's not the money, it's your time and spending it with others. There you go. That is the key. I've lived that. They did a crazy experiment. They they hooked these guys up to this brain analyzing thing, and they said, okay, the variety of people, males and females. They said, what kind of things are you interested in? Guys would say, oh, I love cars. So they'd be looking at cars, and you could see the dopamine hits, and the cars are getting more and more, the more beautiful cars, stuff they're really, really excited by. And then all of a sudden, a fourth grader would pop up on the screen and say, I need help with this particular math problem. Well, then all of a sudden, a different part of the brain would light up, right? And because now all of a sudden the guy has to prefrontal cortex. He's helping a fourth grader with a math problem. And then as soon as he answers the math problem, he then goes back and now they're showing him more cars or boats or whatever else he's really into. And again, lights back up again. Then they do the same thing. They keep switching back and forth and back and forth. And what they found was every time they would go back and the cars were getting better and better looking, cooler and cooler looking. So they thought, okay, so he would have a different dopamine reaction. What they found was every time there would be the switch from helping somebody to back to the thing that the person thought they were so interested in, they got less and less excited by the stuff that they were seeing. The part of the brain in action in service to others was then more satisfying than the material objects that they had previously said that they found to be most exciting. And the same thing, male and female, whether it's fashion or clothes, houses, cars, vacation spots. So the part of the brain that is deeply satisfied is that part of the brain that is in service to others. So Washington, unfortunately, has a lot of people that move here. They're not connected to other people. Minnesota has a lot of people that are born and raised. I think 65% of the people in Minnesota, you live in Minnesota, you eat cheese, you break wind, you go to church, you hang out with your friends, you bowl, right? Washington, you're coming in from some other place. Sorry about that. Come in from some other place. You're not connected. You're drawn to the tech world. You're not, necessarily the life of the party, and you don't socialize much. So then you are isolated. You're cut off, and you're miserable when somebody asks you, how much money you make, and they tell you, and then you say, and are you happy? They tell you no. It's because, again, it's not the money. It's not the money. I have we didn't even call him a friend anymore. Most miserable person in the world. I told you about that guy. See, his father left him like $400,000, $400 million.
Yes.
Yeah, just a.
I think it's just an awful person.
No, he wasn't, because you didn't even know the guy.
You told me how he treated people.
This is prior to the money, prior to inheriting it. He was like just a normal dude.
Well, then money made him an awful person.
Yes, right. Because he's not working anymore. He's not involved with people. He's just sitting there with all of his money.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I say. That's right. That's what I say anyway.
Could be weather. I mean, the tech bros, certainly that would be kind of unique to Seattle as opposed to Washington, you know.
So we are number 3 as far as tech income, and Minnesota's 12th.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess Minnesota's weather's not great either.
No.
I think the family definitely plays a big role in it.
Mm-hmm.
Using myself as an example, I'm pretty broke. Work.
Here we go.
Work a lot.
Oh, here we go.
Am very happy.
Oh boy.
Am in a good marriage. Don't have time. Don't have the 6 hours after the 12 hours to go volunteer.
You basically volunteer here because your shift's supposed to end at 6, and you're still in there, so you still are volunteering. Go ahead. What are those sad stories you know?
No, I don't have any. I think maybe I'm an anomaly, but I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I would assume that all the extra work that you do here is like your volunteer work, and then also helping me read. That's teaching 4th graders how to read.
That is, you're right. I should get a tax break or something.
Yeah, I don't know if that whole thing of like looking at Washington or looking at Seattle and assuming that we're rich but we're miserable. Again, those happiness studies are just.
Yeah.
Junk, right? Because they ask the people of Norway, are you happy? Well, what they find out is, here's an interesting sort of thing about people in the Scandinavian countries. They don't like to stick out. They don't like to brag. They don't like to show off. Everyone just going along and getting along, right? So nobody wants to say, oh, I'm having a horrible time or I'm having a great time. Everybody's just equally sort of satisfied because they don't have high expectations. Somebody's dissatisfied when they expect something and they don't get it, right? So then they're miserable. Yeah. But if you just, my life sort of sucks, so I don't care. I'm not unhappy. I'm just I'm satisfied because you don't have to. You're not. What does a Buddha say? That if you blow out the eternal flame of passion, you'll be happy. If you're always striving for something outside of yourself, you'll always be dissatisfied. But if you're just content with what you have and you don't have the expectations that things will be better necessarily, it goes back to the myth of Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill, right? That's Albert Camus. And Sisyphus is condemned for the rest of his life to push a rock up the hill. And Camus says, well, he's not unhappy. He's not unhappy because he knows the rock will roll down. So therefore, he has given up hope. So he is content. And the gods thought that they could condemn him to a life of misery. But he is not miserable because he knows the rock will roll down. He will push the rock back up. It will roll back down. And such is his life. Camus is French, you could tell by my accent.
I caught that.
And I likes my Rolling Rock.
There you go. That was Sisyphus right there. Prometheus, on the other hand, that guy got a bad deal, right? He's tied to the rock, and then every day a big bird comes down or something, eats out a part of his body, and then it grows back.
But he gave us fire, so.
Is he satisfied? Maybe if he likes animals. You're dying for my organs.
No, they picked a. They
got a good one on him?
Yeah.
Sisyphus is like birds. Sisyphus, on the other hand, is like, I got it easy. Nobody's eating my genitals.
Exercises every day.
That's right. Don't say that one.
Try and stop me, John.
Here's Nate. Check your traffic. Nathan.
Seattle to Federal Way, a 40-minute drive. You've got heavy volumes from MLK Junior Way down to 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway. We're pushing 50 minutes already, so we're crowded in the north end, and then it gets real heavy south of State Route 18. North 405 through South Center is heavy from I-5 through the Renton S-curves. South Center to Bellevue, give yourself 25 minutes. Bellevue to South Center, 35 minutes. It's heavy from 520 to 112. In fact, that is a jam-packed backup there. And then things start to thin out for you, a little more crowding near the VMAC and a brief backup down in South Center. Bellevue to Everett, a 50-minute drive. Scattered backups between Kirkland and Alderwood. Seattle to Everett, also 50 minutes. We're slow from the U District in the Mount Lake Terrace. You'll catch a little breather and then another backup at the Linwood interchange into Mill Creek. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, I had a bad hip. This before I went to go see Dr. Mark Wagner. And the reason I went to Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine is because, well, he's been in this business for 30 years. And when it comes to stem cell work, he is the guy to see. And if you've got a bad shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, hip, whatever it is, and you think about surgery, first step is to Dr. Mark Wagner. This is a 90-minute outpatient procedure, and if that joint looks like it could benefit from stem cells, your own stem cells, by the way, Dr. Mark Wagner is the guy to see. I'm telling you something. It is amazing. I've spoken to so many people that had seen Dr. Wagner after getting stem cells, and they said, oh, I'm able to ski again. I'm able to run again. I'm picking up my grandchild. I'm just hiking again. I don't have all that joint pain. It's amazing. Your stem cells and what they can do when they're in the hands of Dr. Mark Wagner, this could spell relief for you. So before going under the surgeon's knife, go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, I understand there may be a news story coming out.
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you a homeowner, 62 or older, and realize that your Social Security and other income may not carry you through your retirement years? Have you ever thought about a reverse mortgage? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at Tila Mortgage, a local company serving Washington residents for 30 years. And if you want to know how a reverse mortgage works or have questions like, are reverse mortgages safe? Will I still own my home? Or do I really have the option of not making monthly mortgage payments? Call Tila for a no-pressure conversation. They'll answer your questions with personalized recommendations and loan options that can safely help you improve your monthly cash flow, increase your available income, pay off debt, or make home improvements. Call Tila today. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046. Hey, you know Earthwise Salvage in Soto? That really cool place with all the amazing doors, windows, and other treasure? Great news! They just opened a brand new location nearby. The Salvage Lumber Warehouse is ready to serve as a central resource for contractors, builders, home DIYers, and hobbyist woodworkers, providing access to clean, de-nailed lumber ready for reuse, flooring, beams, siding, mantles, live edge slabs, and so much more. All harvested from structures, not forests. Visit EWSalvage.com.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The United States is launching new attacks on Iran at this hour. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
CENTCOM, Central Command, will be busy tonight because President Trump said we will be hitting Iran hard, and we will be. Because Iran has a chance to make a good deal, a great deal. To codify what they said they've been willing to do, and they haven't been willing to do it.
Military describes these latest attacks as self-defense strikes, saying they're in response to Iran's continued aggression. New report out today shows consumer prices are at their highest level in 3 years. Labor Department says inflation rose 4.2%, mainly fueled by high energy costs caused by the war in Iran. Bill Gates spent hours today behind closed doors on Capitol Hill answering questions about his ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I hope my testimony is helpful to the important work of the committee to find justice for the victims.
Microsoft co-founder told the House Oversight Committee he never saw any criminal behavior. Washington Congresswoman Emily Randall questioned Gates, saying he turned a blind eye.
We've seen men willing to turn away, to not accept what we now know is happening. And so our work is to continue asking questions.
Gates says meeting with Epstein was a grave error in judgment. He also testified that Epstein tried to blackmail him using knowledge of his affairs. Seattle gearing up for the World Cup. Port of Seattle officials warning that major events like this can also attract human traffickers. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more on what to watch out for at the airport.
Port of Seattle Commissioner Sam Cho says most trafficking doesn't look like a movie scene in a shipping container. He says it's happening in plain sight at SEA International Airport, where traffickers quietly move victims through the terminal. On the G and Ursula show, Cho said the public is the first line of defense for victims.
If you have a suspicion of human trafficking, call the authorities, call 911 and report it.
If you see something, say something. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk. Check in with Nate Connor.
Thanks, Aaron. South 5 heading into Seattle. You're going to jam up at Lake City Way down to I-90, Linwood to Seattle, just under a half-hour commute. And that includes a brief backup approaching 145th there in Shoreline. North 5, we're packed approaching the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. South Center into downtown, 20 minutes. Everett Marysville looking pretty typical at 10 minutes. You're going to jam up at the 526 interchange and slowly thin up to Highway 2. Seattle to Federal Way, a 40-minute trip, and it is packed from MLK Junior Way all the way down to 516. Bellevue to South Center, 35 minutes. Heavy from 520 into Factoria. From there, it's scattered backups down to the Renton Landing, and then a brief backup to get through in South Center. Southbound 167 is packed from State Route 18 into Puyallup, and Tacoma to Olympia looking pretty good right now at just 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to your forecast. We are looking at a nice afternoon, pleasant temperatures in the mid-60s, 70s the next couple of days, and then a hot weekend in store. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home Comfort Alliance when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. It's Home Comfort Alliance. Home Comfort Alliance. We have any sound on the big announcement, Ferguson's phone ban. So every parent, so this is Charlie Harker writes the piece. Ferguson's phone ban gives every parent a fall guy, including me. By the way, they're not banning them. I think they've asked there be a study. They want to look into it, and I don't think they're going to officially ban it or something until 2027 when they across the entire state.
Right.
Here's a great part of it right here. Ferguson said he'll be looking into funds to support a cell phone ban. Huh? Citing New York's phone-free school law, which needed, get this, $13.5 million to help the district make it work. What? Why do you need money in order to have a school band? Oh, I guess it's the little bags, right? The idea is the kid's supposed to come into school, take their phone, put it in this bag, lock the bag, and then put it somewhere that it's stored. And then at the end of the day, they go over and get the phone out of the bag. I always think like they should have the kid, whenever you have, officials or whatever they are, lawmakers, whatever, coming up with this stuff, you should have some kid that normally sits in the back of the class and, makes fart sounds and disrupts everybody. Just a bad kid. That kid needs to sit in. Yeah, that kid needs to sit in there and tell the adults what's really going to happen. Because they're big. So what we'll do, if everyone can see the screen I'm sharing right now, what we'll have is, excuse me, is that you're being very disruptive back there. Can you just hold on a second? So we're going to ask the children to come in, and they're going to take their phones. They're going to put them in the bag, and each bag will. Hey, I can hear that. So here's what will happen. The kid in the back would go, yeah, here's what's going to happen. They're going to bring in a fake phone, like a broken phone, and they're going to stick that in the bag, and then they're going to have a real phone. Oh, we hadn't thought about that. Yeah, that's what the kids are going to do. So you can come up with any plan you want, but that's how they're going to get around it. Plus, they also know Mr. Jackson's really easy. He's not going to give him a hard time because he doesn't like to have anybody get mad at him, and the principal hates him, so he's not going to send anybody to the principal's office. So you can talk about banning the phones all you want, but kids that want to have their phones are still going to have them.
That's on the parents then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm going to guess that most of those kids don't pay for those phones.
I would guess that you're probably 99.9%.
Right.
Correct.
So you'd have to have a parent that would have to actually be a parent, and as a kid's going off to school, they take the phone and said, you're not leaving or you whatever, give me the phone. And if you don't give me the phone, if I notice the phone is not in this box or where you give the parents collect the phones, then I'll take the phone away. We did that to the kids all the time. The rules were this: at 7 o'clock or 7:30, phone was in a little box outside your door. That was one rule. 2, we could pick your phone up at any time, any point in the day, and get it, open it up, and we were allowed to go through it. And Lace was great with it. She'd go, who's this person? Why are you following this person? Who's this person that's texting you? Who is this person? And Charlie was the worst. She's like, he's the guy that... She's like, bang, right? Who's this? Who's this?
Wait. Bang, what does that mean?
You eliminate it, block them,
okay,
right?
Got it.
And then the thing was, if you had, I forget the numbers were, something like, if there were 3 people on there that she could not identify that were like older than her, there was some dude who's like trying to, get her to do gross things. If you had like 3 or whatever, then you lose your phone for that amount of days or weeks. We just locked them down. And if you violated the rules, if they weren't in the thing at 7:30, you lose the phone for like a week. Let me tell you something. When they lose their phone for like a week, saliva coming out of their mouths and stuff, they're on the ground. No, please, don't take my phone away. Like, then just obey the rules. Have the thing out there at 7:30. Or I'd yell from downstairs, or buy your own phone. Get your own phone. Then you can have whatever but you're living in my house and you're using my money to pay for that phone in order for you to have some 40-year-old dude text you? What?
Really? 40-year-old dude?
Oh, they were some gross dudes. Charlie went to a comedy club in New York City and with some friends, the cousins, and the guy, the comedian, saw her on the way out and says, hey, I want you to follow me or whatever online. And so then Charlie does it, and then he starts texting her. Yeah, he's like a 30, 40-year-old dude.
Is this as an adult or as a child?
Hoo-ha.
This is I'm assuming recently, right?
Yeah, Charlie was in high school.
Getting into comedy, well, I guess you don't have to be 20.
New York City.
Okay.
And we're keeping away.
So, but on a net, it's a net positive.
Sure,
right?
Why not?
Sure.
Right. There you go.
At least some people
moving in the
around.
positive direction. Yeah. We are an outlier. Other states have already put this in place. Some teachers complain saying like it's going to be harder to enforce it. They're not going to get the support from the principal or vice principal, who's ever in charge of disciplining, and it's going to be difficult. But the big part is that they're going to study it until 20.
You know what they should do? Here's an idea. Cost a couple of bucks. But you know those Stingray devices?
That shuts them all down?
Well, you either get like an EMP device, although that might affect your Wi-Fi or whatever the teacher needs. But if you get those Stingray devices, it'll be like what you did to Charlie and Rye. You can basically spy on any kid's phone at any given time. So you'll know who's using their phone and what they're saying and who too.
Yeah, that would be jeez, Joe. Why don't you get out of your rabbit hole for a moment? They're not parents. They're not going to let that happen. Ferguson and Richtold said the ban is top priority for them. Both want the restrictions in place by next September for the start of the 2027-2028 school year. The proposed ban will be a priority within the slate of bills. Okay, so he's going to need some money. Everybody's going to be happy that the kids are not on their phones. I remember a guy that was running for school board said, imagine if you had 30 kids in the classroom and every single one of them walked in with a television set. Let's go back to the 1980s, like a great big television. Yeah. Not like the thin screen on the wall. I mean, like a big clunker that's got the big back part of it. It was awkward to carry. It's got the weird plastic wood on it.
Throw your back out.
Everyone came in with that and plopped that down on the desk. Big old 1982 RCAs or whatever those things were. Everybody, and then they're all running extension cords over the wall and stuff. And then they're running electricity back to their desk. This is basically what it is with the cell phones. Oh, yeah. They're on the phone all the time. He said they would never allow somebody walking with a TV. But no, you can have something else sit there, and they just go along with it. And the teachers don't enforce it because they know, what would they do? They send the kid out of the room. The kid goes down the hall and then comes back. The principal's like, stop sending them down the hall to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a nightmare for teachers. And then, why bother? What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. I'm so glad my kids are out of school. They did such a great job there at Eastlake. Charlie coming to me end of her junior year with her 1.4 GPA. I don't know where I should apply to college. Apply anywhere you want. Yeah. Pretty much go ahead, apply anywhere you want. You're going to get about the same response. Because I can't imagine that somebody wouldn't want to have you as a student. I think it was 1.4. They were like cutting her some slack. Ooh. Yeah, oh man. And then even Rye was like, I'm going to drop out. Then he got his GED. GED from Florida, which was harder for him than high school, which is true when they say that about getting the old cumulative GED. That's it.
From Florida?
Yeah, he was living in Florida at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Exhausting me. Again, I feel so bad for parents that have kids that are either going into high school or in middle school and having to deal with the social media world and the cell phone world. Oh, my God.
That's me.
Is it you, Nate?
Yes, sir. I got a 13-year-old.
Oh. What's the rule on cell phones?
We haven't got him one yet.
Oh, nice.
Yippers.
See?
That's right.
All right. Well done. Hold out on that one. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. South 5 into Seattle is struggling from Lake City Way down to I-90. About a half-hour commute from Linwood into downtown. North 5, you're packed just before the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes, and it's a slow roll from Northgate into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, we're approaching an hour. It is solid from Kirkland all the way into Alderwood, and then you'll join the North 5 backup. Our lake bridges are wide open. Westbound 18 heading into Federal Way, you're bumper to bumper from the West Valley Highway all the way over to I-5. And out towards Cedar Grove, southbound on 169, the Maple Valley Highway at 196th Avenue Southeast, a collision just reported, and there's about a mile and a half bumper to bumper backup behind it. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows a free patio door plus 12 months free financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate Connors. Parts of the house just aren't functioning correctly, and I'm not talking about heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. I'm talking about something as simple as a closet or the garage or maybe the pantry. Let's use the pantry, for instance. You open up the thing where you're supposed to have everything. Like you're reaching around trying to find some, some spaghetti sauce. But it's such a mess. It's so crowded in there. You're pulling out canned yams from Thanksgiving like 6 years ago. It's not well organized. Or you go to the supermarket and come back, you can't find any place to put anything, so you're storing it, who knows, outside on the porch. Same thing can happen in the garage. It's supposed to be a 2-car garage, but there's so much junk in there, you can't even get 1 car in. And that's where Closets by Design comes to your house, finds the spaces that should be working, customizes to make them better about storage, and you just reduce the stress, and you have a house that is functioning correctly. And you're not paying the big price, 40% off plus 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit when paid in full. It's custom without the custom price. I'm talking about Closets by Design, 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we make protecting your home simple and affordable. With flexible financing and 20-plus years of trusted service, you can count on lasting quality from Guardian. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
Get any size high-efficiency AC for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront costs. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service includes lifetime repairs and annual maintenance at no extra charge. Book your free estimate at cmheating.com today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Spring is a perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home.
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer. Your local Bryant dealer can make sure your system is up to the task. Whether it's maintaining your current system or installing an energy-efficient Bryant Evolution cooling system with perfect Humidity Plus technology, your dealer will give you what you need to help your family beat the heat. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at BryantNorthwest.com. That's BryantNorthwest.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. 1-888-973-5476. Washington posted a story back in 2013. Edward Snowden's documents showed that the Pentagon had about $52 billion in classified intelligence spending. That's that's normally referred to as the black budget. That's the money that is. Well, where's that? We took it offline. The reason we don't want anybody to see where the money's going is because we just first,
national security.
Yes. So apparently they've got the same sort of budget going on. I don't know if the numbers are that big. When it comes to UFOs, we're back to UFOs again. Air Force veteran David Gersher appeared with members of the Oversight Committee, publicly calling for the White House to release the smoking gun to prove once and for all, UFOs are real.
For decades, unknown objects have freely operated in restricted airspace in large metropolitan areas and critical infrastructure, and the agencies responsible for securing the homeland cannot adequately defend against it. This is a serious national security issue. How many species are you aware of? I certainly don't have the compendium. It's a continuum from corporeal, bipedal type life to...
Oof, what? Hang on.
Continuum from corporeal...
Corporeal.
Bipedal.
Yep.
Bipedal.
Two-footed.
Yep.
Type life to, what I would consider as like sentient plasmoid life. But there are...
Sentient plasmoid life?
Yeah.
Okay, so like...
That's thinking...
Single-celled organism kind of things?
Why do they have to be single-cell?
I don't know.
Just because it's plasma, I wouldn't limit it to one cell.
You're right. I should
some sort of... Like the
plasmoid?
Yes.
Yes.
The Ghostbusters.
Or several.
The safe way protects the system. These are people who simply wanted the American people to see what they know. And they deserve...
What?
An amorphous, ooze-like character.
Yeah, that's right.
Deserve protection. They deserve our respect, and they deserve a second chance.
Wait. I'm lost.
Yeah.
Stop interrupting me, Joe, with your plasma.
Life to,
hang on, here we go.
What I would consider as like sentient plasmoid life, but there are several.
The safe way protects the system.
Yeah.
These are people who simply wanted the American people to see what they know.
Yes.
And they deserve protection. They deserve our respect, and they deserve a second chance. And we are at a different time. This is the age of disclosure. Mr. President, I'm asking you directly, waive the non-disclosure agreements that still bind these patriots.
When I'm sitting in a skiff and some little punk in a man bun tells me the president's on a need-to-know basis, folks, that ought to tell you right there what we're up against. We're up against corruption. We're up against a cover-up. This thing's been covered up at least since 1947.
Yeah.
Dadgummit, the public deserves the right to know. It's your dadgum tax dollars. It's not about little green men or flying saucers. It's about what are we spending all these millions and possibly billions of dollars on that these idiots tell us don't exist.
Well, it is about little green men.
Or plasmoid.
I hope it's plasmoid.
Me too. That sounds fun. By the way, don't forget, black budget, $2 trillion unaccounted for. Who was it that acknowledged it? Who was the Secretary of Defense under Bush 2?
You have to wait. I have to go to Nate.
Ah.
Nathan, traffic.
Thank you.
Rumsfeld.
Yep. Oh, good. KIRO Newsradio App has the update. Seattle to Everett, 50-minute commute. Bellevue to Everett at 1 hour. You're solid from Kirkland to that Alderwood interchange. Southbound 99 in Seattle, we're stop and go from the zoo to the stadiums. North 405 through South Center, packed from I-5 through the S-curves. Just under a half hour from South Center into Bellevue. Renton to Puyallup on 167 is at 50 minutes, and we're bumper to bumper from State Route 18 into Puyallup. Tacoma to Olympia looking good at 45 minutes, off and on slowing through South Tacoma, and then just a brief 2-mile backup near the JBLM main gate. North 5, you're also crowded through South Tacoma. Text app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
I was walking my dog. I fell and ended up with 3 tears in my meniscus. I was sent to a surgeon and they said the only way to get this fixed is to have surgery. That just wasn't an option. I didn't want to jump into surgery without trying anything else.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We offer Jamie an alternative to the downtime and potential risks associated with invasive knee surgery. At Sound Pain Solutions, we help patients like Jamie avoid the side effects of painkillers, cortisone injections, and pain following surgery. Our comprehensive approach includes treatments like pressure wave, PRP, and advanced laser. These treatments reduce pain and restore mobility naturally. Now Jamie is able to do everything she enjoys without pain.
I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day and not be in pain. To be able to go about my day has been amazing.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free joint treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
If you've been sitting in traffic long enough to finish a podcast and question your life choices, it's time to flip your trip. Ride transit. Find a park and ride or roll past stress on a bike or scooter. Free yourself from traffic jams at flipyourtrip.org.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof inspected. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we'll help it last as long as possible. Our trained and licensed crew will evaluate your roof, repairing when we can, and offering replacement options only when necessary. Plus, every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
Jazz Alley invites you to experience powerhouse vocalist and songwriter Judith Hill, blending soul, funk, R&B, and jazz into one unforgettable performance. Shows run June 11th through the 14th. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of?
Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Chuck Sievertson. We're bombing Iran again. It started again for a second night. This is a statement last hour from the U.S. Military Central Command, announcing the air attacks are in response to Iran's unwarranted and continued aggression. President Trump today cited Iran shooting down a U.S. helicopter, for which he already ordered retaliation attacks last night, then saying the U.S. would attack again tonight.
Well, we're going to be attacking them very hard.
From CENTCOM earlier in Tampa, Florida, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth echoing another reason Trump gave today, accusing Iran of tap dancing instead of making a deal to agree to U.S. demands.
As President Trump said, they've been tapping. You can see when someone's trying to tap on a deal. Instead, they're going to have tap bombs dropping on key facilities in Iran from the United States of America. And that's not because we want to restart anything we don't have to restart.
This is ABC News. In Los Angeles, the trial is now underway for a man accused of igniting the deadly and destructive Palisades fire last January.
With opening statements getting underway, federal prosecutors allege former Uber driver Jonathan Rinderknecht was depressed, filled with resentment toward the wealthy, and fixated on alleged CEO killer Luigi Mangione. They say Rinderknecht lit the Lockman fire, which the LA Fire Department thought it had fully extinguished, but then a week later in high wind reignited and exploded into the Palisades fire. A dozen people were killed and nearly 7,000 homes and buildings were destroyed. His defense says there is no physical evidence linking him to the fire. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Robots trying to learn tasks like grasping a cup will get lessons from a human wearing an ultrasound wristband that captures movement of muscles. Laurence Olivier, arguably Britain's greatest ever stage and movie actor, was honored today with a plaque attached to the central London property where he was living as a child. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Big milestone for SeaTac Airport just ahead of the World Cup. The story coming up after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. This one brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. We've got a new crash heading into Puyallup on eastbound 512. It's just past Canyon Road. It's in your left lane, already about a mile and a half backup. And then westbound 512 is jam-packed from the South Hill curve to our crash scene. That's about a 2-mile backup. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. It gets heavy at 85th all the way down to I-90. North 5 heavy from the Michigan curve into downtown. Seattle to Everett, we just hit 1 hour. It is solid from the U District all the way up into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett has improved, down from about an hour 5 minutes to 55 minutes. Scattered back up some Kirkland to Alderwood. Down in South Center, North 405, we are really struggling. You're packed from I-5 through those S-curves. About 35 minutes now from South Center to Bellevue. And Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, 50-minute commute. It is really packed from State Route 18 into Puyallup. Don't miss fireworks nights all summer long. Presented by T-Mobile. The next show is June 19th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo, just in time for SeaTac to welcome World Cup visitors. The airport's brand new Sea Concourse is set to open tomorrow. KIRO News Radio's John Repp has a closer look.
With a ribbon cutting and applause, the massive upgrade features shops, restaurants, and forest-inspired design. Airport Managing Director Wendy Ryder says it's the result of 3 years of construction, which wrapped up just before the World Cup crowds descend.
I think we always have those
is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? So, I mean, I think up until yesterday we were putting up artwork.
Despite the fanfare, Ryder admits the airport expansion doesn't come close to addressing rapid traveler growth in the region. Port of Seattle Commissioner Sam Cho tells G and Ursula.
At a certain point, SCA will be tapped out, and the experience will continue to go down.
John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
13-year-old boy pleads not guilty in the shooting death of his teenage cousin in Seattle's Rainier Valley. A judge today ordered that boy to remain in secure detention.
As I sit here right now, I have no belief that electronic home monitoring would be sufficient.
King County prosecutors say a handgun went off as that boy was holding it inside an apartment late last month. 17-year-old cousin was hit in the head and died 2 days later. 13-year-old faces charges of first-degree manslaughter and unlawful possession of a firearm. The Snohomish County Council has now made it a crime to expose children to fentanyl in Snohomish County. The new ordinance from Councilmember Nate Naring makes it a gross misdemeanor to knowingly or recklessly expose a child to fentanyl or other controlled substances. He tells the Jason Rand Show on Seattle Red.
State law criminalizes the exposure of methamphetamine, but it's silent on fentanyl, I think, because fentanyl is maybe a newer drug.
Another ordinance passed today stops Snohomish County from favoring housing first models over those that require sobriety and treatments. City of Olympia is trying to fix its crumbling sidewalks itself instead of requiring property owners to pay.
We're an older city, and we have a number of sidewalks that are in a state of poor repair.
That is the city's Michelle Swanson. She tells KIRO 7 TV they found nearly 28,000 defects across 226 miles of sidewalk. A dedicated crew is now on the job at a cost of $1.2 million a year. Your forecast now, we are seeing clouds and some sunshine this afternoon. A nice day today with highs in the mid-60s, low 70s to round out the week. Right now, 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Just that coming in. You're not feeling creative.
We got a guest on the line.
All right. Okay.
Up in the news. Let's go.
But first, hold on, Todd.
Comes Todd Myers.
Here he is. Well, look at you gloating.
I don't get a chance to do it very often.
I know. But listen, the Washington Policy Center gets victories. They do. I forget how many, it was 2 years ago or it was, you'd said to me, it's really interesting that they don't want to put information on people's utility bills because it would be just too confusing for them. The bill would be too long, and it's just not right to do. We don't want to let people know about the additional cost of the Climate Commitment Act. And I actually have the quote because I remember you'd sent this to me, and I thought, well, this is rich, as they say. So this is the idea that the reason we can't tell people what something really costs. This is what they say, quote, "We agree with the Public Counsel that PSE should not include the proposed carbon reduction charge as a line item on the customer bills, stating that Public Counsel correctly observed that including all program charges in the customer's bill would quickly result in a lengthy and confusing bill." They didn't want people to know what the CCA, and they were withholding it only because they didn't want to confuse us, Todd. And then what happened?
Yeah, well, that's it. You're quoting from the State Utilities Commission. Yep. They are the ones who set prices, both for electricity and in this case, natural gas. So your Puget Sound Energy natural gas bill went up, and they wanted to hide the fact that the Climate Commitment Act, the CO2 tax, was causing it to go up. The irony was they said, oh, if you add that line item, it'll be too confusing. But then literally in the next line, they said, but you have to add the line about state-funded rebates because that's important information. That wasn't confusing to add.
Right.
Just the fact that it added a cost, that was too confusing.
And the state-funded rebate was that if you're making under a certain amount of money that we're going to be able to give you a $200 a year or whatever as we're screwing you somewhere else. Right. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
So I thought this was one of the most outrageous things that I had ever seen. They actually said that they were trying to help consumers by hiding information from them. It's obviously political, obviously ridiculous. So when Governor Ferguson came in, he appoints the Utilities Commission. He appointed new commissioners. And so I sent a letter to the new commissioners last year and saying, look, there are all sorts of reasons this is bad, ethical, other things like that. But it's also causing problems for the state. State agencies are actually complaining that they don't have this information and can't figure out how much it's costing them. And to their credit, they reversed themselves last December. So now, if you are a Puget Sound Energy customer who gets natural gas, not electricity, but natural gas, there is now a line item that says, here's what it costs. Here's how much the Climate Commitment Act adds in cost to your bill. Now, people can decide whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but at least they have the information.
There's other times, I can't remember the specifics of it, where the Washington Policy Center has sued, even before going to court, gently and aggressively asked for more transparency. What was the one case, and I think it got thrown out, you were asking for transparency, I think it was regarding contracts or some sort of negotiating going on between the state and what was that one, Todd?
So this is a few years back where we asked Washington State to do what many other states do, which is to negotiate labor contracts in public. Right now, they do it behind closed doors. So it is politicians who get donations from unions negotiating state contracts with those same unions behind closed doors. And at the state level, what ends up happening is that the legislature has to vote up or down on those contracts. They can't say, well, we don't like this or we want to modify this. And the topic of what happens in those negotiations isn't released until after the contract is done. So we said this needs to change both at the state level and at the county level. Spokane, the city of Spokane, actually, the voters actually voted to do that.
Right.
The unions sued, and the courts ruled against the voters and said, no, we're going to keep that hidden from the public.
And I know when you guys are, again, that should be outrageous to people because the taxpayer is not available to be seated there at the table, but they're using their money to negotiate these things. And what was the final reason as to why the state would not allow transparency? They're protecting what?
Well, what they say, there's all sorts of reasons like, oh, it's, proprietary. Oh, it would slow down the negotiations. You can't negotiate in public. I mean, all these sorts of things. Numerous states already do this. So it's like we wouldn't be the first one to do it. And I mean, look, the public has a right to know what is going on before a decision is made, and for them to say, no, you can only know after the fact, after all of the decisions have been made, and you can't know, the details of those discussions is really outrageous. And of course, one of the big reasons the state budget is so out of balance is because they gave billions of dollars in pay raises to state employees, and so many pay raises that they actually ended up cutting Medicaid, cutting higher education, things like that. But all of that goes on behind closed doors.
Well, the governor has announced that he's going to be looking at more cuts because he's already given himself credit for cutting billions. I don't know where that is necessarily, but he's asked department heads to look at making reductions because we're heading into some really rough waters. Those are my words, not his. But across the board reductions, but he also says that he's not going to raise taxes.
Well, what he said was, I won't propose new taxes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Those are his exact words. I won't propose new taxes.
Okay, then how does one read that?
He doesn't have to propose them. He just has to sign them, right? The legislature will propose them. So, so we'll see how it works out. I mean, even after we have had 2 years where we have the largest tax increase in state history back to back. And even after that, our research showed that we were still in a huge budget hole. So again, people say, oh, we need more taxes to cover these costs. it's not the lack of revenue. Revenue is growing faster than the rate of population and inflation combined.
Right.
It is that they are wasting money on things that don't work, on sending it to, political allies for frivolous projects, as we've pointed out in the past. There's a lot that can be done to do the core things that government should do, like that we all agree that government should do to help those: social safety net, education, lots of those sorts of things. But that's not where we're spending money, and that's not why we have a shortfall.
You come on with not much good news. The new cost for the CO2 tax is out today, and it has moved to 52 cents per gallon for gas and 62 cents per gallon for diesel. So we're number 2 in the country. I think we're still chasing Hawaii, right?
Hawaii is behind us. California is number 1. So
we've passed Hawaii.
So to be fair, this price, that the prices are set at a quarterly auction. The price at this auction is 1% lower than the last auction. So there is good news.
I've talked about it, and I sent it to you, the guy that works, does a Substack called Shipwrecked. And I know you'd looked at it as well. The amount of time, the amount of money that is being wasted on the CCA things. You were the one that is able to look at that. Oh, they said they had an 80% reduction. You said it was actually 2 or 3% when you look at all the money that's being spent by all the different NGOs. We're having meetings, really not doing anything, hiring a bunch of people, not doing anything. And if you were to give the benefit of the doubt, you'd say, well, it's going to take a little while for them. They get 2 years to sort of get everybody in place. And once they have everybody in place, they're going to take the Climate Commitment Act money, and then they're going to really start reducing CO2. So it's been a while now, Todd. Have we seen that?
Well, no. I mean, because they set the pattern. The pattern is that you fund projects that are sort of politically useful, not based on outcomes and metrics. And in fact, this year, the report that I was using to look at that, the legislature previously had mandated that was every year. They have now changed that to every other year.
Right.
So it's even less useful as a guide to accountability and auditing and making sure that we're doing the right things than it was before. And the thing that frustrates me is that I was just actually talking with somebody about legislation that I want to propose that'll streamline salmon recovery projects, because we spend a lot of money to help salmon. I fully support this. Actually, I think we need to spend more money on salmon recovery, but we put regulatory barriers in our way. But to do that streamlining, there's a cost up front. And last year I was told, well, we can't do this because we don't have any money. Meanwhile, and it costs like $1 million. Meanwhile, we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on frivolous projects that do nothing. So there is a real cost to this waste. It's not just, taxpayers or other things like that. The environment pays a cost when you spend money on things that do nothing for clean air, for people, for salmon. And you end up saying, well, things that do help it, we don't have any money for that because we've already wasted the money on frivolous things.
Why do you think that is? Because you and I have talked about this for many, many years. Looking at salmon recovery, supporting the salmon population and the entire eco chain that depends upon those salmon, that it doesn't get the love. It doesn't get the money. It's so easily dismissed, even though the tribes try to do what they can as well. But is there not somebody down there fighting for it?
There are, and I think the challenge is that salmon recovery is very difficult. It takes a very long time. I remember having scientists come in and we were like, okay, so how can we prioritize? How can we test to see what works and what doesn't? And they said, well, it takes several cycles of salmon returns. So it could take 15 to 20 years to know whether something is working. It's like,
forget it.
Like, how are we going to do that? So it is very difficult to know what works and what doesn't. There are some guides. And actually, you mentioned the tribes. I think the tribes do a really great job, because guess what? If you're a tribal fisherman and you don't have any fish, you go and knock on the door of the head of the Tribal Natural Resources Program and say, where are my fish? There is direct accountability. They feel that. And so if something doesn't work, there's no hiding from it. That's not true at the state level. You could hide in bureaucracy. You could hide in these sort of, opaque science, we don't know yet. I think direct accountability would go a long way. And that's actually what I'm proposing is to do more direct accountability, because if you ask people on the ground, they know what the barriers are. It may not be scientific, but their experience and knowledge. But we don't put money based on here's what I think. It's like, well, let's run it through the Department of Ecology in this test and the politicians will approve it. And it doesn't, no wonder we're not making progress.
Yeah. Was I say goodbye to you here and let you go? How are you feeling now about the income tax? The illegal income tax was signed into law by the governor. And you saw that in the first week, 94,000 signatures were collected. And Brian Hayward wants to set a record. He thinks the record is 700,000 signatures that were collected in 1974. And what they were collecting was the people didn't like the fact that the lawmakers had given themselves a pay increase. So that's right. The villagers came out. They lit the torches, and they were mad as they surrounded the castle. Brian says he wants to try to break that record with the number of signatures coming down for the ballot to be able to have the vote for the income tax. Do you think that this one will fall the way the other 9 or 10 had fallen every time the people of Washington are asked, do you want an income tax?
It's really hard to say. And there's an update, which is now after 3 weeks, they have 225,000 signatures. They need 308,000. So they're going to get those. But as you say, they want, as many people to sign to send a signal. And if people sign, they're more likely to vote yes to repeal the income tax. And that's another thing is you have to remember, you're not voting no against the income tax. You're voting yes to repeal it. So that's the other confusion. This is a strange political year. I mean, there is so much going on. The war, there's a lot of economic uncertainty. Partisanship is going to be really ugly this year. I think it's very difficult to decide. But the thing I want people to understand is one, we don't need the money. There are so many things that we are spending money on right now that we don't need to be. The fundamental argument is we have to have this money to fund basic education and other things like that. That's simply not true. We've been pointing this out for years, and they keep throwing good money after bad. More money on education as our test scores go down, more money on transit as our, roads and ridership go down. Money is not the solution. So I think just people need to remember that, because we do want government to run well, but I think right now, it's reckless.
Why do you seem sanguine on that? Why, Todd, do you that face, you're like, why don't you think it'll pass?
Well, I think it might pass. I'm not saying it won't pass, but we live in such a strange political time where people make decisions based on identity, on who they trust more than sort of what the policies are. I will just tell you, I'm very frustrated by looking at some of the candidates that both parties are putting up, right? The Republican in Texas, who's had, serious legal problems and did some things that were, who was impeached. The Democrat candidate in Maine, who has a Nazi tattoo. It's funny people are dismissing that. I have a young relative in the military, and if he got a Nazi tattoo, I know that I and my sister, his mom, would lose our mind. And so it's very strange. And so those things really frustrate me and make me realize that a lot of people are choosing and voting based on that tribal identity and who they trust, rather than on sort of, is this a good or bad policy?
Yeah.
So, but we keep trying to argue. Hopefully people will make a good decision. I think that income tax should be overturned, but I'm less certain.
Wow. Jeez. All right. Thank you, Todd. Do you want to reveal any tattoos that you have?
Not today, because it's not family friendly.
Here comes Todd.
Thank you, Todd Myers from Washington Policy Center. There we go. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
This was brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors in Puyallup. We just cleared that collision eastbound 512 just past Canyon Road, but it left you with a heavy backup starting prior to State Route 7 over there in Parkland. Westbound 512, you're heavy from Meridian to the crash scene. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, we're at 50 minutes. So we've got scattered backups between Renton and Kent, and then it's bumper to bumper from State Route 18 into Puyallup. In Tacoma, South 5, or heading into Tacoma, South 5 starts to slow from South 320th across the Puyallup River Bridge, and just before that bridge at the Port of Tacoma Road, we've got a new crash in the right lane. Seattle to Federal Ways at 40 minutes. Typical backup here stretching from the Duwamish Curve to 516. Heading into Seattle, North 5, you're packed at the Michigan Curve in the downtown. South Center to downtown, plan on a 20-minute trip. And South 5, you're bumper to bumper coming out of Northgate down to I-90. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows a free patio door, plus 12 months free financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all 3 like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof checked. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian, we help it last as long as possible. That's why every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The United States is bombing Iran for the second straight night, following through with the threats President Trump made just hours before.
We're going to be attacking them very hard.
More from ABC's Martha Raddatz.
This comes just some 24 hours after U.S. fighter jets targeted nearly 20 Iranian sites, including radar and air defense systems, in retaliation for the downing of that U.S. Apache helicopter.
U.S. says the attacks could continue to force Iran to make a peace deal. In a statement, Iran says its armed forces will respond forcefully and definitively. Bill Gates testifies on Capitol Hill today, telling lawmakers he made a grave error in judgments by meeting with Jeffrey Epstein. Microsoft co-founder answered questions in a closed-door session with the House Oversight Committee. Washington Representative Emily Randall says she was not fully satisfied with what she heard.
I think some of his answers show us that many of the men who engaged with Jeffrey Epstein only saw what they wanted to see.
Gates told lawmakers he never witnessed any of Epstein's crimes. He also said Epstein tried to blackmail him using knowledge of his extramarital affairs. Sound Transit's deputy CEO is about to step down. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi reports.
According to the Seattle Times, Terry Mestis, who has been with the agency for 2 years, will leave on July 3rd. She's been working on so-called mega projects, including future SoDo and Seattle Center stations. Sound Transit hired her away from Los Angeles World Airports. She's been making $600,000 a year. Now she's reportedly heading back to Southern California. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
New data shows wages are rising in our state. The Employment Security Department reports the average annual wage climbed nearly 5% in 2025, reaching nearly $100,000. Officials say gains were strongest in sectors like tech, finance, and professional services. Now to the real-time traffic desk. We check in with Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. In Puyallup, we've got big backups on 512 from an earlier collision. So eastbound, it's packed from State Route 7 out past Canyon Road, and westbound is heavy from Meridian to Canyon Road. South 5 heading into Tacoma slows from South 320th across the Puyallup River Bridge. And right before the bridge at the Port of Tacoma Road, we've got a crash in your right lane. Federal Way to Tacoma right now is going to take you about 30 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, 45 minutes, a 3-mile back backup through JBLM. North 5 in Seattle, we're heavy from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. South 5, bumper to bumper between Northgate and I-90. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is going to take you 40 minutes. It is real heavy from 520 all the way to the VMAC. And Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett are both pushing 55 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Partly cloudy for tonight, increasing sunshine tomorrow, and more sunshine through the rest of the week. Low to mid-70s for Thursday and Friday. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Spring showers, more like spring sprinkles, downpours, hailstorms, cold snaps, flooding, and sometimes even a little sun. Spring in Western Washington changes day to day, even hour to hour. That's why you need experts who have decades of experience and the right tools to keep you weather ready. Watch KIRO 7 pinpoint weather forecasts in every newscast and on the KIRO 7 apps for your phone or TV.
Back, Joe. Don't you have a heat wave thing coming up? Is that Saturday, Friday, or Saturday? The heat wave?
Sunday, Monday.
Is it? Yeah.
It's like a lid on a pot. Heat waves.
Thanks, Joe. How you doing? I haven't talked to you in a little while. You all right?
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, fine. Andrew, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good, fine.
Forget your pomade?
I did, Joe. My hair looked like it when I woke up. Okay. Buggy's all over center. Take the car to Bucky. The 16 locations been around for 51 years. This is not going in. Andrew, I can't. I don't know. This.
I don't know what you want from me, John.
This isn't good.
Oh, my. How about that?
Bucky's Auto Service Center, 16 locations, been around for 51 years. Remember all the stuff about Me Too, right? You believe all women, and you can't have Kavanaugh in the Supreme Court because when the girl was 14, he was 17. Apparently, he sexually assaulted her, and we had to believe.
He is on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, he's on. Right, they wanted to throw him off, and then later on, when more information came out, right, they wanted to impeach him from the court. Right, that whole Me Too thing, right? Even Al Franken got ripped out on that, right? Remember that? Al Franken got thrown out from Minnesota. All right. So, and then we heard later on, a couple of years later after that, was toxic masculinity. And even men who were victims of it, that it wasn't their fault. It was the society had created this whole thing where guys were just aggressive and they like to fight and they like to drink and they catcall women and toxic masculinity. And we need to make sure we get that out of young men, especially in schools. So nice to know that now nobody cares about it. The folks on the left that were pushing all of this sort of stuff have decided that, hell, we need the Senate. The Senate is far more important than any of this other stuff. And they think they've got their answer, which is this guy, Graham Plattner. So he has an interesting, colorful background. And he looks like if he beats Susan Collins in Maine, and her problem is that she votes too often with Trump, and it looks like if he wins, Maine is the must-win. Then the Democrats take the Senate. You know they're going to have the House. And then all the stuff that they planned on doing, like court packing, get rid of the filibuster, and including more states in, they would have control, massive control of the country. So everybody is figuring, what do we do? Well, screw the whole we care about, women and Me Too, because we think this guy, Graham, is going to be the dude that's going to take us there. And the Wall Street Journal had a chance to talk to two socialists that were pushing hard on this to get Graham Plattner in there. And they wanted to know about all of the skeletons in the closet that has now come out about the candidate that they have in Maine, who's actually polling ahead of Susan Collins. So here are the two that found Graham and said, we want this guy to run.
And at this point, you hadn't vetted.
It's the Wall Street Journal.
Graham Plattner. You hadn't done a full scrub of who he is. How did you go about vetting him? And why did
They laugh at that. Interesting.
We paid a nice firm a whole chunk of money and got some stuff back. Some of what you've seen on the news we got back. Other stuff we didn't.
By the way, this guy's voice is going to get more and more annoying as we go on, and I like to apologize. This is a full-grown man. Full-grown.
He's not toxically masculine.
Did the vetting process turn up the tattoo that became so controversial?
Yeah, it's a Nazi tattoo. That he says in 2007 he was just drunk, really, really drunk. He didn't know what it stood for. He just decided to get it. Yeah, really? You're going to get a tattoo on your chest? Didn't really research it at all? Brag to your girlfriend about what the origin of it was? Told his friends about it? But, I'm drunk. Just put anything you want on my chest. Okay, here we go.
No.
The Reddit posts, did that turn up in the vetting process?
The firm sent us a thing, and it had some of the posts, but it didn't have all of them.
And what did you think about that? How did you think your way through the fact that he had posted these things on social media?
I said none of this will or should stop him from becoming a U.S. Senator.
And what was your thinking there?
Agree. I think if what the voters wanted were people who were grown in vats and had never done or said anything that they might regret their entire lives, we'd have a very different country. Part of our thesis here is that people do not want their candidates grown in vats. They want people who are real human beings, and they want people who do not look and sound like the vat-grown people who've been leading this country off a cliff for the last century. And that was Graham.
Yeah, I agree that people don't want people grown in vats. I don't know where those people are coming from, but I'm pretty sure they don't want somebody who's a state senator, a U.S. senator, to have a Nazi tattoo.
Yeah, he got it covered up. It
Right.
I don't know. I didn't see anything about him explaining the origins of the tattoo to his girlfriend.
Oh, he was really. Yeah, there's text messages too, because she's come out and she said, yeah, he knew what it was. He used to brag about it.
Yeah.
Because then he said, oh, I didn't know. And she said, no, here are the text messages show this. It's aside from the fact that the guy is obviously not the most upstanding individual and he wasn't grown in a vat, and some people want that. It's the irony is, he's a Democratic candidate, and it was the Democrats that told us for all these years about the Me Too and about toxic masculinity, but all of that goes out the window when you want to win, and you want to win the Senate. And if you can get Maine, and you can beat Collins, and you get the Senate, the amount of power that the Democrats will have, are going to have, it's going to be massive. So they don't care. And these two folks that probably hate everything that this guy Graham Plattner stands for as a person, they are able to look the other way because they will do everything they can to win. And there we go. So it was never really about Me Too. It never about believing all women. It was about destroying Kavanaugh. Some guys got swept up in it. They probably didn't want to lose, like Al Franken. But none of that was anything other than just a way of destroying certain people. So here we go. It will be fascinating if he wins. And everyone's running cover for him. Even the New York Times did a pretty good job of actually vetting a bunch of the stuff that had come out. But after his girlfriend came forward and they said, oh, well, you're a Republican, you're just saying all this stuff. She's like, no, I know who the guy is. I know what he's about. Not that bright. He's not that bright. But in the people of Maine, and this could just simply be them just saying, look, we know he's horrible too, but at least it's not Susan Collins and it's a vote against Trump. So that's what
100%. This is the Trump effect.
Right.
Right. The bar is so low.
Oh, I'm not comparing. Well, yeah, you're comparing Trump to him as far as his personality. I'm just saying it's a vote against Trump is to put this guy, Graham Plattner, in there. But you're right. The Overton window has moved.
Yeah.
Right. Bob Packwell died the other day. He was a senator from Oregon, and they dug into a whole bunch of stuff that he was doing to, he was having his way with 22-year-old interns and stuff. It took them only a certain amount of months, so finally they ran that guy out because he was just, disgusting human being that you wouldn't want in the Senate. But that was in, I think, 94. The standards have dropped so low that who cares now, right?
We were talking about the mayor of Seattle yesterday that got basically run out of office because he used the wrong stuff during a snowstorm to clear the roads.
Oh, Mike.
It's like
that was Greg, wasn't it? Nichols?
Was that
Nichols?
Nichols?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it was Nichols.
Nichols.
Nichols, yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
As
long as I'm crying, that.
What is? I mean, it got so much worse by the end than from the beginning.
Here comes Nathan.
Thank you. In Tacoma, South 5 at the Port of Tacoma Road, just before the Puyallup River Bridge, we've got a crash in your right lane. You're backed up to South 272nd now. Federal Way to Tacoma is going to take you 35 minutes, and there's only about a 1 mile separation from this backup in our normal Tukwila to 516 backup. If these two connect, plan on a good hour-plus commute between Seattle and Tacoma. South Center, North 405 is packed from I-5 up to the Renton Landing. South Center to Bellevue, just under a 25-minute commute. Bellevue to Renton, 40 minutes. It is really heavy through Bellevue starting at 520, and it doesn't let up till you get past the VMAC. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 20 minutes on 520, looking pretty good. We're up to a half hour on I-90. Everett to Marysville, 10 minutes. Scattered slowing from 526 to 529. If you're heading over Tiger Mountain on westbound 18, there's close to a 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup between Deep Creek and the Summit. And on the water, the Edmonds Ferry Terminal reporting a 1-hour wait for drivers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. Parts of the house aren't functioning correctly. And this is going to seem like a bit of a shock when I say, well, the pantry's not working, the laundry room's not working, home office, garage, maybe any one of the closets in any of the bedrooms. And the reason they're not functioning is because you can't put more stuff in them, or you can't find stuff that's in them because they're just not designed properly. I can tell you when the closets by design came to the house, came to the barn, and did the work that they did, I was amazed at what they did in the garage. Now, every time I go in there, I'm like, oh, I have to keep everything in its spot because there's a perfect place to put everything. They did the same thing in the laundry room. They do the same thing at your house. You don't have to live in a barn. You can just simply have parts of the house that just aren't storing correctly. And you're thinking about, wow, we have a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe we should rent one of those storage units. Don't do that. There's probably room. It just needs to be redesigned, customized. Without the giant customized price, 40% off plus an additional 15% off an 18-month 0% financing on approved credit when paid in full. I'm talking about Closets by Design. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. Call them today. Get that project started. 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well,
I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. And once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down and 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing today, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Are you a homeowner, 62 or older, and realize that your Social Security and other income may not carry you through your retirement years? Have you ever thought about a reverse mortgage? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at Tila Mortgage, a local company serving Washington residents for 30 years. And if you want to know how a reverse mortgage works or have questions like, are reverse mortgages safe? Will I still own my home? Or do I really have the option of not making monthly mortgage payments? Call Tila for a no-pressure conversation. They'll answer your questions with personalized recommendations and loan options that can safely help you improve your monthly cash flow, increase your available income, pay off debt, or make home improvements. Call Tila today. Tila, spelled Tila, is a name you could trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
In an odd turn of events for the accused killer of Rob Reiner, his son gets money from the will, and his son will take the money from his deceased parents and then will be using that in order to mount a defense. It's like the old thing. What was the definition of chutzpah? It's where a kid kills both his mother and father and then pleads for mercy from the judge because he's an orphan.
Well, just a little correction. So it's not from their will. It's from a trust that they set up for him while they were still alive.
Right.
That he gets a certain amount of money when he turned 30, and I think he gets another lump sum or something when he turns 35.
So the money's distributed at each point in his life at certain points.
And so
but they didn't put any restrictions in there.
No. So his lawyers are asking the judge to allow them to, pay themselves essentially out of that trust, which everybody goes, oh my God, this is.
Yeah, but illegally, I mean, they didn't add in there. Like sometimes we have for our kids, we've got a trust that's going to kick money out at a certain point and has things like you can't kill me.
Does it?
Well, you haven't put that in there.
Okay, you should.
Let's see,
or be accused of killing me. Although, what if
it must be, you can't be addicted to drugs or alcohol. You have to have been employed for a certain amount of time. There's the restrictions we put in. Like we don't want to start having the money going out to them, and if they're just messes.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
One of my good friends I went to high school with, he had a drug problem. His grandmother died, left him $1 million in a trust when he turned 30, but some same stipulations. He had to be enrolled in college or have graduated college, had to kind of be clean. He cleaned himself up, enrolled in college, was doing really, really well, got the $1 million, and it was gone within 6 months. All of it. And he was in jail, still not doing well.
I don't have time for how much time do I have, Andrew?
Oh, not much.
I Oh, it's a good story, too. Probably one of the best stories I ever tell.
Let's tell it at 5.
Yeah. No, because I really just kind of acted like it was a really great story and then knew the time would really kind of eclipse it. So I'm just going to let it just sort of hang there.
Wow, that's a tease.
Big story is coming up at 5:30.
Ooh.
You know you're a super fan of the show when you drive all the way to Cle Elum to attend my court case, I was surprised. Chuck gets out of his car. He's like, hey, I'm here. I'm like, oh, my God, you came all the way up here for this? Yeah.
You said you had a date several weeks prior that you had apparently gotten wrong, and he showed up for that one, too.
He was ready. So I had Corey, my landscaper, who's going to be a witness.
Yeah.
And then Chuck was sitting in the back there. He was taking notes. So he saw the whole thing as in small claims court when justice was served.
And now you can tell all now.
Now I'm allowed to tell all.
Okay.
All right. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
This one's brought to you by your KIRO Newsradio App. Tacoma, we just cleared a collision south 5 at the Port of Tacoma Road. You're backed up to south 272nd and at State Route 18. This turns into a bumper-to-bumper backup. Federal Way to Tacoma will take you 35 minutes. That's about a 15-minute delay. Further south, Tacoma to Olympia, looking pretty good, 45 minutes. Westbound 18 is bumper-to-bumper from the West Valley Highway over to I-5, in part due to this major backup on South 5. South Center and North 405 is packed from I-5 all the way up to the Renton Landing. We're at a half hour now from South Center into downtown Bellevue. Coming the other way, Bellevue to Renton's at 40 minutes. Really tough in Bellevue starting at 520. Doesn't let up till you get down to Northeast 44th near the VMAC. And crossing the lake into Seattle from Bellevue, looking pretty good on 520 at 20 minutes. Add 10 minutes if you're crossing on I-90. Text the app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Hey, you know Earthwise Salvage in Soto? That really cool place with all the amazing doors, windows, and other treasure? Great news! They just opened a brand new location nearby. The Salvage Lumber Warehouse is ready to serve as a central resource for contractors, builders, home DIYers, and hobbyist woodworkers, providing access to cleaned, denailed lumber ready for reuse, flooring, beams, siding, mantles, live edge slabs, and so much more. All harvested from structures, not forests. Visit ewsalvage.com.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront cost. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, want to consider Aegis Living Respite Care, a short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Dave Packer. A second consecutive night of U.S. strikes on Iran. The U.S. says the attacks are in response to Iran's continued aggression, including missile and drone attacks targeting U.S. bases and the downing of a U.S. Apache helicopter. Secretary Pete Hegseth visiting CENTCOM headquarters in Florida today.
As President Trump said, they've been tapping. You can see when someone's trying to tap on a deal. Instead, they're going to have tap bombs dropping on key facilities in Iran from the United States of America. And that's not because we want to restart anything we don't have to restart.
ABC Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz is in Jerusalem.
Whether these strikes will force Iran to the negotiating table is unclear, but with this new wave of attacks ongoing, what does seem clear is that this ceasefire appears to be over for now.
Iran tonight saying following repeated violations of the ceasefire by the U.S., the Strait of Hormuz will be closed until further notice. This is ABC News. 35 years in prison for a Texas high schooler convicted in the stabbing death of another teen at a track meet. Austin Metcalf was an athlete from a rival school. A jury rejecting Carmelo Anthony's self-defense claims. Both young men were 17 years old a year ago in April. In Orange County, California, a federal investigation now into last month's toxic chemical leak, forcing tens of thousands of residents to evacuate.
Federal agents arrived at GKN Aerospace in Garden Grove executing a federal search warrant. First Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley says his office, along with the FBI and EPA, are looking for possible violations of the company.
We have an obligation to figure out whether any crimes are committed.
A tank with 6,500 gallons of a highly toxic chemical became unstable last month, causing the tank to heat up, posing a risk of a massive explosion. Eventually, the tank cracked, allowing pressure to release, and the danger subsided. Alex Stone, ABC News.
And I'm Dave Packer, ABC News.
Celebrating the end of a major construction project at SeaTac Airports. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Seattle Sports has the update. Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes. We've got a steady backup from Lake City Way all the way up to 164th there in Mill Creek, and it's really thick until you get through Shoreline. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour, solid from 520 to the Alderwood interchange. South 5 heading into Seattle. We're bumper to bumper from Northgate Way to I-90. 40 to 45 minutes from Linwood into downtown. North 5, you're packed around the Michigan Curve to the Columbia Towers. Southbound 99 heavy from Dexter to the stadiums. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is a 35-minute commute. It is packed at 520 all the way to the VMAC. And then things pretty much clear up for you right away. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes. We're down to scattered backups now, approaching 405, down to 516. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Just days before the first World Cup match in Seattle, SeaTac Airport is opening a redesigned and expanded Concourse C. Managing Director Wendy Ryder says it features 11 shops and restaurants.
I can't wait to see what the passengers are going to be like. What happened, right? Like, what is just, or the experience is just going to be amazing.
But Port of Seattle Commissioner Sam Cho says the region is running out of room for air travelers. Tells the G and Ursula Show the airport was initially built for 30 million people.
Last year, we did 53.4. All right. So at a certain point, SeaTac will break.
The new Concourse C opens to passengers tomorrow morning, 4 o'clock. Man suspected of stealing sheets from a signature gatherer at a Puyallup Safeway has now been arrested. Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red the man was booked into jail for second-degree robbery.
He had physically assaulted the victim while he took the papers from her.
Yesterday's incident was captured on video, showing the woman was gathering signatures for an initiative to repeal the so-called millionaire's tax. A Puyallup teenager who claims she was sexually assaulted by a transgender opponent during a girls' wrestling match has now filed a federal lawsuit. The girl is suing the Puyallup School District, Superintendent Chris Rakedahl, and the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association. She claims officials knew her opponent was a biological male, told no one, and then waited more than 50 days to report the alleged assault to police. No comment yet from Rakedahl's office or the school district. The WIAA, meantime, says it does not comment on pending litigation. City of Olympia is taking steps to fix cracked sidewalks. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports.
Riley Johnson is a sidewalk commuter.
I used to live in Seattle where it's a lot worse. The roads and the sidewalks are a lot worse, so moving to Olympia, there's definitely improvement.
Even so, Johnson tells KIRO 7 TV,
There definitely is some tripping hazards around different parts of the sidewalk for sure.
The city counted almost 28,000 defects in its sidewalks. So now it is spending $1.2 million a year for a dedicated repair crew. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And to your forecast now, clouds out there along with some sun breaks for tomorrow. Mostly sunny with highs in the low 70s. Right now, 66 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Back to this.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi. I like the John Curley Show, and I also like my peach White Claws. Thank you.
Pretty close. Go back. Let's see if it's close to this guy. Hold on a second. You ready? Okay, ready. Let's see it. So this is the guy who's being interviewed by the Wall Street Journal. These are the guys that had vetted Graham Plattner.
That he had posted these things on social media.
Here we go.
I said none of this will or should stop him from becoming a U.S. Senator.
And what was your thinking there?
Agree. I think if what the voters wanted were people who were grown in vats and had never done or said anything that they...
Okay, and Andrew, what do you have?
Hi. I like the John Curley Show.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's good. Yeah.
They might regret their entire lives. We'd have a very different country.
And I also like my peach White Claws.
Okay. Yeah, good. That's great. Thank you for that. What? All right. A sort of flabby guy in a camo hat and shirt goes into was in Puyallup, right? Was it a Safeway or something like that?
This guy looks straight out of Cleveland. You got to admit.
Just call him like I see him, Joe.
Yeah.
goes into the store, and I guess he takes it upon himself to get the papers that have the names of Washington's citizens that would like to have their voice heard and don't want the income tax. So he goes right in there. Those women that's videotaping, I assume she's somehow involved in the signature gathering, but he feels it's his duty to just go up and go get the signatures on the piece of paper and to take them out of there. So here's the video for it. This was sent to Brady Cruz originally, and that we just find out that from the sheriff's department. They haven't released his name yet, but you get a chance to see who he is. And now
Don't
that
do it.
Here it is. Oh.
Give me these boards back. These people want to be.
Petition outside
These people
illegally. And we have no. So you want these, or do you want me to take them?
You cannot take those. What are you doing?
There's assault.
Call the police.
How about not petitioning?
Call the police. Call the police. Call the police.
This is what democracy looks like. There you go. Oh no, he's allowed. He gets a chance.
Not petitioning when you're not supposed to, huh? Yeah, you can't read.
The cops are letting me stay.
The cops are. You're not above the law. lady.
Alderwood.
Oh,
Alderwood case lets me be here.
Alderwood.
Yes.
No.
Private property, public access. Look it up.
Yeah, stop for a second, Joe, please. Yeah, I looked it up. So Alderwood case goes back to it goes about 45 years old. What happened was Alderwood Mall. That's a mall. So they saw that the Washington State Supreme Court looked at that and said, a mall is like a public square, and you have a right to petition, and you could speak your mind, your First Amendment right at a public square, mall, open mall sort of thing, Alderwood Mall, right? But specific stores that you go into to buy something, that's different. So they kind of a bright line between Safeway supermarket and the Alderwood Mall. Got that?
Yeah, but they're gathering signatures outside of Safeway.
Right, but it's private public property. So that's private property is that Safeway is responsible for the parking lot.
I see.
So the signature gatherers, I assume, if they're doing it the right way, they go into the manager and they say, hey, listen, can we gather some signatures? Right. And the guy goes, yeah, I got no problem with that. Yeah. And he lets them do it. I don't know the backstory as to whether or not they got permission, but apparently maybe they did get permission. But this guy's a real hero going in there and then deciding that, oh, no, you're not allowed to have your voice heard. So he goes and grabs them and then heads out to the parking lot to get in his truck and go away.
You want to hear some more?
Yeah, it's here.
All right.
You are taking a legal document that is illegal. You need to give it back to me.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Give it back to me.
There's his plate. Yeah.
It's not too late. Give me back those papers.
I mean, honestly, the lack of swearing, citing actual
That's
case
amazing.
law.
Yes, I know.
Like,
you got to give her credit for that.
It's not too late. Besides him hitting her.
Pulling away. He got his big diesel. His dually.
You're going to be prosecuted. Don't do anything stupid. Don't be doing anything stupid. What you're doing is wrong and you know it.
I'm not showing your face. Oh, you can't, can you? Oh, come on. Let's see it. Come on, show your face. Yeah, you won't, will you?
Yeah. Probably.
You won't show it because you know you're illegal, right?
Oh, okay.
Have a great day.
The pot calling the kettle fat. I mean, black. Here's the crazy thing. You stole the stuff. You don't have the right to go in there and say, well, what you're doing is wrong. I'm just going to get out of my truck and go in there and grab them. So he's being charged with second degree, which, that hurts. He'd be looking at possibly 5
Second degree.
Second degree theft, yeah. So and I don't know, they might get him on assault as well. He took a shot at the lady with their phone. The thing he's going to run into, one, he's got the names of he's got their names. He has their addresses. So you're stealing that. So you've got that. You are also taking a property. This is constitutional at this point. This is a violation of the Constitution. So he goes in there and steals this up. So they get him in second degree. He could do 5 years, a $10,000 fine.
Bad move.
Very bad move.
Shocking. He just is so far from the profile of the typical signature gathering protester.
Well, it depends on which one it is, right? So if it's boys and girls, boys out of girls sports.
Yeah, but even on this one, every one that we've seen so far is very typical.
Right. You have purple hair and you believe that.
And you're screaming obscenities like.
Yeah, this guy's just going to go in.
Yeah.
This is what democracy looks like according to this guy. So you're a big guy. You can walk in. You push a lady out of the way because might makes right. And you grab the signatures and you get in your truck and you drive away. That he's doing the right thing. And you're saying he's outside the. Well, who does the millionaire's tax benefit? It benefits the unions. Those are the ones that are going to spend $40 to $60 million or whatever it is in order to be able to get this thing to go through.
Yeah, you think this is a union guy. So.
I'm going to give you a union guy. Did they give you the name of the guy yet?
No. But Nicole Thompson did say they allow Girl Scouts there, so they have to allow signature gatherers. It is considered a public square. And thank you, Brandy Cruz, for the video.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to put a little fun down? By the way, what I could do is I could let my Dick's Burger ride because Saul Spady was going to give us all at Dick's Burgers.
Right.
So I'm going to take my burger and I'm pushing it into the middle there against your burger that we're going to get for free. So this isn't going to cost us anything.
I see.
I say he's a member of the union.
Okay. Yum. I mean, it's not a bad call. You just have to admit when you
Joe,
hear
who goes in and steals initiatives? Crazy people that believe that boys can be girls and girls can be boys. That's one crazy group, right? Then
I'm talking about on this initiative, the millionaire's tax, repealing the millionaire's tax. We have played countless videos at this point. Well, okay, maybe it's like 4, but they've all kind of fit the profile. It's the same people that were protesting.
A man with a purse.
Yes, exactly. Right. So this guy is and he's the antithesis of the typical signature protester.
Right. But this is
just unusual.
Okay, you were giving credit for not having a purse?
I'm just like, yeah, it's nice to have some diversity in our protesters. Right?
Yeah. Well, listen, he's going to regret that.
He's definitely going to regret it. And isn't Swank's the guy that hauled him in, right? Or at least
how about Swankaroo coming out of them? Swank's done 2 big things. One, he went into that school in Graham and said, why do you have controlled substances, testosterone, liquid testosterone that can be ejected? You've got it in a big display case of some sort.
Yeah, we'll take all that. Come on.
So that's a problem. So Keith Swank comes in and works that one, and then he goes ahead and finds this guy. So, working on getting this guy.
Swank will throw the book at him. I don't know if he gets along with his prosecutors. But.
Yeah, well, good for him. And anybody that knows the guy, so many people called Brandy Cruz, said, I know who the guy is. I know who he is. Yeah. Brandy's not going to say the name. We've got the names as well. We're not going to say it until we're waiting to find out.
We're just going to say where he works.
What?
Well, you said you got cheeseburgers on it.
Yeah, I'm saying he's probably somehow associated with the union. That's who benefits from the millionaire's tax.
Associated. So you said he was a union guy.
Here we
That
go.
means he works for the union.
Okay, how do you want to describe associated then?
Well, if he's just a contractor or not a day labor, but like a construction worker or something like that gets union contracts, I don't think he's that invested where he's going to go out.
Joe, they're going to take the money from.
I get it.
Right, and they're going to give it to who or whom?
To a union that's going to spend it on administrative stuff.
Well, no, it's coming to Washington. It's going to go to Olympia, and then the people that get bought and paid for.
Yep.
I think they're referred to as prostitutes that are elected bought with union money. They will then dole it out to all the groups.
I'm just saying, this guy looks like he was storming the Capitol on January 6th. Like, come on, you got to give me that.
Okay.
He does.
I don't know if there's 200 and some FBI agents that were encouraging him to go into that store to steal those initiatives or not. All right?
All right.
Well, good. I'm glad we're finding new people to violate the laws.
It's fun.
And don't forget, that's what democracy looks like. You ever want a picture of the guy going in there?
Sure. Hang on. Let's see here.
Okay. This is Puyallup. There he is right there.
Get a good look at him.
There's this truck. Yeah. The reason I'm sure the signature gatherer was covering her face was because she was probably going to get doxxed or afraid she's going to get doxxed because you run into people like this. Now, this guy only threw one, hit her once with his hand in the phone. But who knows? I would not want, if I was a signature gatherer and I was concerned for my safety, somebody could drive by, take a picture of me. The next thing you know, they're coming to the house or something. Because obviously these people are very, very upset about you having your right to be heard by the government. So that guy right there is in charge.
There's something.
That's the guy that's determining whether or not you get a chance to have your voice heard by the government. Yeah, right there.
I mean, come on.
What do you think he smells like? Cigarettes?
Probably.
And like some deodorant, no deodorant. I think also dryer sheets. You ever notice when people they put too much of a dryer sheet in, and then they've got that kind of dryer sheet stink that goes with coffee, cigarettes, and just anything else just generally on an individual like that has such low regard for you as a human being to take your signature, your name, and decide that, no, you don't have a right to petition the government. This guy makes the determination as to who gets to speak and who doesn't get to speak.
It probably costs him $250 to fill up his gas tank every.
It's diesel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably even more than that.
So he probably wants, listen, we should take it from somebody who's rich who doesn't deserve it, who didn't really earn it, and give it to somebody else who did. So that guy's going to benefit.
It doesn't make sense.
Why is that so shocking to you?
I don't know.
What do you want him to be dressed as? Okay, let's play dress the loser. What do you want him to wear?
You should have
What should he wear when he goes in to steal ballots? I mean, initiative signatures.
If he's dressing like the rest, he's probably literally wearing a dress.
You want him like in an open-toed mule shoe and maybe some culottes?
Don't act like you're not surprised.
I am. No, I'm not.
I don't believe you.
Most guys that look like that are, when I was doing signature gathering there in Kittitas, these are the guys that were showing up saying, screw Ferguson and screw Peterson. Right?
Like he looks like he should be signing the thing, not.
That's what makes it news, Joe.
Okay.
Oh, God. Yeah, put it on Joe. Put it right on his head, on his bald head. There you go, Joe. Enjoy that right there. The Bellevue firm that said they would never have layoffs. They said that for decades. Well, now they're going to have layoffs. They're cutting 230 jobs in the Seattle Times. Listen, they haven't laid anybody off since like 79.
1979.
So let's give them some credit.
Come on, yes.
They're like, God, we got to lay somebody off. Hey, it's 1982. We made that just a couple of years ago. Yeah, all right. We'll do what we can. We'll just, cut back on the Christmas party, but we're not going to lay anybody off. So they're laying off 230. And it's not that unusual. There's a whole bunch of jobs that are leaving the state of Washington because they see what's happening. But if that guy can just stop stealing up initiatives, maybe we can save this state.
There's more to that story.
What else? Okay, but let's hold on. We just get the bet down. Here we go. Dick's Burgers. I say the guy is associated with the union. An association with the union is either he benefits directly or indirectly if the millionaire's tax doesn't go through. I mean, if the millionaire's tax goes through and the state of Washington takes money from people, he will benefit, I'll say directly. How about that? All right? Directly.
Okay.
There you go. Fine, Danny. Good. And Seattle slips in his ranking with U.S. cities and foreign investments, feeling more concerned. This should not be news to anybody. We want to get one of these people on, one of our fine elected officials that said that all of this stuff was just a myth, right? Mm-hmm. That a capital flight was a myth. People aren't going to leave. We don't see it happening. Or as Katie Wilson, the mayor of Seattle, said that, we hear they may be leaving. And then she's like, well, bye. So as it is, they're still waiting to get the news. And when Bob Ferguson said that state agencies should prepare for difficult budget decisions, administration begins crafting its next big plan. Chris Daniels had these questions.
They need early advance warning of, hey, this could be pretty dire.
That's Governor Bob Ferguson talking about this letter from the Office of Financial Management warning of significant budget shortfalls, blaming inflation that has increased by 39% in a decade.
Oh, okay. So in 10 years, it's gone up 39%. All right. They make it seem big, right? But good for you, Daniels, to put that in there 10 years. So 10 years, or was it 3.9 a year?
That agencies should not assume funds from the millionaire's tax are available.
There's going to be some tough decisions in there. How deep it cuts? It's too soon to say. I mean, I think we made it pretty clear in the letter. As you know, Chris, we still have multiple revenue forecasts to come.
There's been a fair amount of criticism of your office and the legislature for just trying to tax their way out of this situation and the spending. Can you commit to a budget with no new taxes?
I won't be proposing new taxes.
As Todd Myers said earlier from the Washington Policy Center, hear the word, I won't be proposing.
I may sign something,
but I'm not proposing them.
We cut billions from the budget. We cut billions. That does not get reported very often, Chris, but we cut billions from that budget that never gets mentioned in the press. So we balance out some revenue and those cuts. That's what makes these cuts so difficult.
What if the millionaires tax gets overturned?
Well, if it gets overturned, we deal with that reality.
Okay, good. I don't have time for the other ones. All right. What happened in small claims court? Never been to small claims court before. So it was quite eye-opening. I was killed off in the first 2 minutes by the judge.
Wait, what?
Well, see that? That's called a tease, Joe. That's what you do in the radio business.
That's a tease.
Here comes Nate Candace, take a look at traffic for us here at KIRO Radio.
Thank you, sir. Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. We've got a new collision westbound 520 approaching Montlake, blocking your left general purpose lane. You're backed up to mid-span. Seattle to Everett's going to take you 55 minutes. We have a steady backup from Lake City Way all the way into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett still holding steady in an hour, and we're solid from 520 all the way to that Alderwood interchange. South 5 into Seattle, bumper to bumper from Northgate Way to I-90. It's a 45-minute trip from Linwood into downtown. North 5 heavy from the West Seattle Bridge to the Columbia Towers. Through Renton, North 405 at Sunset, we've got a stall blocking your right lane. This adds to a solid backup starting at I-5 in South Center. South Center to Bellevue's at 25 minutes. We've got backups heading to the Hood Canal Bridge where we have a marine crossing underway, and just getting details in at a new collision North 5 near South 84th and South Tacoma, blocking all lanes. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows a free patio door, plus 12-month free financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I've become like the Pied Piper of stem cell procedures. I was in L.A. the other day talking to this guy. He's complaining about his knee, and I'm like, ooh, have you thought about stem cells? He's like, I heard a little bit about it, but I don't think that stuff doesn't work, does it? Oh. I said, I had my hip done. Dr. Mark Wagner did the work. It's in Seattle. You should go to Seattle, get it done. He goes, my brother lives in Seattle. I said, when you go up to visit your brother, go see Dr. Mark Wagner. You said your knees are really bad. He's like, this guy's really excited about stem cells. I am. I tell everybody, if you've got a bad elbow, shoulder, wrist, knee, whatever's bugging you, and you think about getting surgery, I said, don't do that yet. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I went to him, I guess, 3-4 months ago or something like that. Time's flying by. And then I have the hip in my pain. I don't have any pain hip anymore. I don't have to sleep with a pillow between my legs. I don't have to weird cushion under my leg when I drive because my hip is better. And getting better every single day because of the stem cell procedure from Dr. Mark Wagner. Want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, I understand there may be a news story coming out.
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Holy smokes!
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorpic here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer means I have a laundry list of exterior home improvements to tackle and no time to do it. Fortunately, the team in the red van has me covered. And of course, I'm talking about Valentine Roofing, the pros that keep me off extension ladders and precarious positions. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. Once again, they've been awarded the 2025 Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards for Roofing by the Seattle Times. And it really comes down to two things: the best product backed by a lifetime warranty and exceptional customer service. They call that the Valentine experience. It's seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down, 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing to schedule your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. The United States launching new attacks on Iran tonight. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
CENTCOM, Central Command, will be busy tonight because President Trump said we will be hitting Iran hard, and we will be.
ABC's Martha Raddatz reports from Jerusalem.
Whether these strikes will force Iran to the negotiating table is unclear, but with this new wave of attacks ongoing, what does seem clear is that this ceasefire appears to be over for now.
Iran has vowed to retaliate. Microsoft's co-founder Bill Gates appeared on Capitol Hill today to testify before the House Oversight Committee about his connection to Jeffrey Epstein. ABC's Pierre Thomas has the story.
Gates telling Congress he sought the relationship with Epstein to raise funds to promote global health care. But he says Epstein never produced any wealthy donors as promised, and that Epstein tried to use information about my infidelities to pressure Gates to continue their relationship, which he said ended in 2014.
Gates called his meetings with Epstein a grave error in judgment. Port of Seattle officials say the incoming World Cup is a magnet for human trafficking. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more on what to watch for at the airport.
Port of Seattle Commissioner Sam Cho says most trafficking doesn't look like a movie scene in a shipping container. He says it's happening in plain sight at SEA International Airport, where traffickers quietly move victims through the terminal. On the G and Ursula show, Cho said the public is the first line of defense for victims.
If you have a suspicion of human trafficking, call the authorities, call 911 and report it.
If you see something, say something. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle is boosting support for small businesses hit by crime and vandalism. The city's Back to Business program is increasing reimbursement limits for repairs and security upgrades. Businesses can now get up to $5,000 per incident for damage. That's up from $3,000 and up to $10,000 for security improvements. The program has already provided more than $1 million in grants since it launched last year. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 5:32. Here's Nate Connors.
Let's start you down in Lakewood with our police activity update. North 5 at South 96. 2 right lanes are now blocked. All lanes were blocked momentarily. This is where a police chase ended with a classic police box-in maneuver. It's a big distraction, and you're bumper to Bridgeport. South 5 is packed approaching South 72nd. Our collision westbound 520 approaching Montlake has been moved to your right shoulder. No longer a blocking issue. Seattle to Tacoma is going to take you an hour. It is solid from 405 all the way to State Route 16. We're close to the speed limit, though. Through most of this, Renton to Puyallup, you're down to 40 minutes. South 5 into Seattle, bumper to bumper from North Gateway to I-90. About 45 minutes from Linwood in the downtown. North 5, you're heavy at the West Seattle Bridge to the Columbia Towers. And North 405 in Renton at Sunset Boulevard. A stall in that right lane has got, is adding to our backup that has been starting at I-5 and South Center for the past hour. So, South Center to Bellevue, give yourself a half hour. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Going to warm up into the 70s the next couple of days. Saturday into the 80s, and then Sunday, some areas could be touching the 90s. Right now, 66 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
There we go. Welcome back, everybody. Teeny, please spin the wheel, and just a short, quick spin. Kick your foot in front of it. Here we go. There we go. Lands on me, the Wilcox Only Farm Eggs recipe wheel. I'd like to take a fresh egg and just stick it in the pan with hot olive oil and then enjoy it.
Yum!
It's officially. Wow. There it is right there. All right. I was not here for the show yesterday. I would have been able to do it because apparently it doesn't take that long to go out of small claims court in there in Cleellum. Neighbors took us to court because our dogs killed their chickens. Yes, they did. 26 chickens altogether. There were a number of attacks. Terrible thing. I felt really bad for them. I offered them $2,600. That's $100 per chicken. They didn't want that. They wanted more money. I think anywhere between $19,000 and $22,000 for all of it. And then we get the letter saying you have to go to court. So I end up having to go to court. Nick and I go there yesterday at 10 o'clock. And it was interesting. By the way, should we bring in our witness?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Entering the courtroom now. Chuck Stewart, are you there?
Yes, sir. John, how are you?
All right. Thank you. I'm well. Did you you made the trip up? Did you think it'd be far more exciting than it actually was?
Well, I made the trip over twice. I was way off base on the first one, but I was not going to be deterred or denied.
Yes. Okay. So when you entered the courtroom, were you impressed by just the aesthetics of the Cleellum Small Claims Court?
Actually, I was surprised that it was what it was. Yes, it was quite courtroomy.
That's how they describe it. There we are. Now that would be me leaving after not taking the law into my own hands, but taking them or being taken to court. All right, there you are. Now you're holding up a piece of paper. Because you were taking notes during the trial.
Oh yes, I had my clipboard.
Yes,
which seemed to be quite noticed and gave me some flack for. But I have a clipboard. It lends a sense of respect and seriousness to any situation.
Yes, a clipboard does.
I agree.
So the judge starts with, now who are you? And asks me who Corey McGuire is, my landscaper, who's going to be as a witness, or you're zooming in. And then he points to Chuck Stewart. He goes, what are you doing here? There's only 5 of us. There's 6 of us in the court. And Chuck said, oh, I'm just here to witness.
It was, halfway through the whole deal that he said, by the way, who are you? And I said, just observing.
Just observing. All right.
That's right.
So in the very beginning, the judge says, now listen, we're not here to talk about, anything else other than the number of chickens, the cost to replace the chickens. Right. And he said, Then he says, let me give you an example. And then what did he then launch into, Chuck?
Oh, man. I can't. I'm sorry, John.
I remember. I'll tell you why I remember, Chuck. Because he goes, let's say I'm driving my car and I hit.
Yes.
I hit Mr. Curley and I kill him. Right? It's like in the first.
Oh, yes.
It's the first 3 minutes of the case.
So you're dead.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Go ahead. Then what did he say, Chuck?
And he just said if I killed him, I'd have to replace. I think it had to do with replacing the value of a chicken versus a human, but he couldn't replace you, but there would be compensation due for I don't know, lost love and affection and income or something like that. So that's what he was talking about. The chickens were dead, but you had to kind of like the value of replacing chickens and the value of the lost hen egg production.
Right. But he started right out with, I'm driving down and I hit Mr. Curley with my car and I kill him. It's like,
Yeah.
And then he's giving more instructions. Then he says, listen, you'll speak for 10 minutes. You'll speak for 10 minutes. You get 2-minute rebuttal. Don't talk to each other. So if Mr. Curley starts lying, if he's sitting there lying, don't say anything. So first he kills me in the first 2 or 3 minutes. And then he has me. And then he has me lying. I guess I come back from the dead to deceive everybody.
Wow.
And he goes, okay, let's get started. And then they went first. And then I had a chance to respond. And I look back at one point after the judge is like, look, how many chickens? He gets out a calculator. I look back at Chuck, and Chuck gives me the big thumbs up like,
it's going great.
You're going to win this thing, right?
When we first heard about this on the radio, and we talked, and so I did some calculation. Yes. I went crazy on calculate valuation, lost production. So when the judge says, I'm not here for punitive issues, it has to do with establishing valuation and lost egg production, I thought, I'll be doggone. I bet your brother would be impressed.
Yes.
Because he's a lawyer.
Yeah, you said that you started doing some tabulations and figuring stuff, and you went crazy. Have you regained your sanity? Because I got to tell you something, Chuck. When you pulled up next to me, I was like, what the hell? Drove all the way out here second time for this?
No, you pulled up next to me.
Yes.
And noticed you through your fancy Range Rover shaded windows. And,
not my car.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so Nicole was in there.
Yes.
And so she gets out, I get out, and I say, hey, Nicole. And I felt bad because I just about jumped into your car saying, John Curley, Chuck Stewart here, and you were eating some snack or something.
That'd have been weird, Chuck.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Well, it was weird enough anyway.
The whole thing was weird to begin with. Listen, I'll say this. I feel bad for the death of the chickens. I used to have chickens. In fact, I just sent Joe a picture. We used to let our chickens in our house. We had chicken diapers. That one shot I sent you, Joe, is not with one of the diapers on. But the chickens ran around in the house. I loved my chickens. They all got destroyed, killed by a raccoon. One time, I think like 4 or 5 of them lost to a dog that got in there. So I get it. I'm sympathetic to that. But when somebody wants $22,000 for the chickens, and I just felt like maybe they might have thought that there might have been a lot more money there. The judge simply wasn't going to hear of it. And when I originally offered $2,600 and they didn't want the 26, they didn't respond. If they had taken the 26 when I offered it to them almost a year and a half or 2 years ago, they would have had a solid 26. Inflation has eroded that.
That's right.
They ended up $2,600 plus $300 for the coop.
The ruling was $2,600, but then I wasn't in front of them, but I could see the blood drain from their faces because he came in with calculations supposedly of $10,000, and the judge says, "Well, let's go through the numbers together," and he just shredded it. He got down to $4,700, and so I think but anyway. And then I was really quite surprised that, the 2,600. Then they started scrambling. Well, what about the coop? And then what about a filing fee and all that? So I think you made it out of there just under $3,000.
I was going to say, show me the receipt for the coop. But I thought at that point, I don't want to upset the judge. The judge saw that they were obviously upset.
That had to feel pretty good, by the way.
So he threw him a little bone on the, what's that?
That had to feel pretty good, right?
What?
That they were upset.
I didn't want them upset.
I mean,
why would I want my neighbors upset? Do you think that they were taking advantage? Think, the guy in the big fancy barn, all the money, the TV guy, that they thought, we can rip this guy down up and down the road? And
probably. Yeah. This has been a thorn in your side for what, a year now at least?
I have many thorns in my sides.
Yeah, but if I saw the blood run out of their face after all this, I'd have been happy just to see them upset.
Whoa, Joe.
Come on. You dragging me into small claims court? You want $25,000 for your dumb chickens?
Whoa.
You offered to make them whole for a fair price?
I don't know you anymore.
Come on.
Chuck, do you feel the same way?
Well, no, I was just thinking it'd been kind of cool had we known a little more of how the outcomes. Have somebody, you know how they used to have latte stands, mobile latte stands? Get somebody outside making omelets.
There you go.
Okay.
Right outside the door.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, the good news is it's over.
Yeah.
We paid them already. Yeah. Corey, my landscaper's like, get a bunch of 20s and throw it on the table, tell them to sort it out.
See, I'm not the only one.
I know. He felt the same way.
I
thought 2,600, like I said on the way out, if they take it to 2,600 when you first, that would have been, but now the 2,600 you paid is 2 or 3 years of inflation. So,
yeah.
And the coop thing, I was thinking chicken wire and a couple 2x4s, but
I love this guy.
Told me, because when you we were outside talking before going in the courtroom, and I was telling you all this stuff. He says, you're not allowed to talk in here.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say anything. Don't say anything.
I can see why.
I think you were afraid I was going to come loose Finch and Network.
Any more nuts than you are, Chuck. I didn't need you saying anything or to hurt me. All right. Hey, thanks for making the trip. I'll let you know next time I'm going to court, jail, or anywhere else, okay?
I had a great time, John.
Right.
Nice to meet you and Nicole. Thanks for having me on.
Okay. Thank you, Chuck Stewart.
And clipboard right here.
I know. It means authenticity. It means authority. Okay, here is Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, this one brought to you by Global Credit Union in Lakewood, North 5, just right there at South 96. That right lane is now blocked instead of 2 right lanes where a police chase ended. We're backed up to Bridgeport Way. That's a bumper-to-bumper backup. And then South 5, you're bumper-to-bumper approaching South 56. These are the only backups between Tacoma and Olympia in both directions. Federal Way, South 5, just past South 288th. We have a new collision blocking the HOV lane. That's got you in a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at South 216th. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, just under 40 minutes now. Off and on slowing between Renton and Kent, and then slow again between Algona into Sumner. Westbound 18, you're packed from the West Valley Highway over to I-5. In Renton, North 405 at Sunset Boulevard, we cleared our stall, but it left it with a bumper-to-bumper backup from I-5 all the way up to the scene. So South Center to Bellevue has climbed to 45 minutes. That's double the norm. And going through Seattle, southbound 99, you're bumper-to-bumper approaching the Aurora Bridge all the way down to the stadiums. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Okay, over the age of 50? Mm-hmm. All right. And you don't want to wear readers anymore, no, or glasses or contacts, or concerned about a cataract or two? Have you considered refractive lens exchange? You probably have. Here's my story very quickly. Every year I'd have to go to the doctor and get another prescription, and every year is another $400 to $500, and my eyes were getting worse and worse and worse. I kept thinking, there's got to be another way around this. If my eyes are getting bad, how can we correct it? RLE, refractive lens exchange. So I put that in there, started looking around. I was like, there's a bunch of different doctors do this. I happened upon K2 Vision. The reason was I saw all the great reviews. So I meet Dr. Kopstein. They have other great doctors in there, but I meet Kopstein. I ask him how many. He's done maybe 100,000 of these procedures, so I'm in good hands. And he explains to me, listen, if it's not going to have a great result because your eyes are not that bad right now, I'll tell you to come back in 10, 15, or 20 years. So I said, no, now I want to fix them now. He looks, he goes, yeah, your eyes are bad. Let's fix it. We do. I now have 20/20 vision. That's my story. What's yours? No more readers, no more glasses, no more contacts. K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. It's been a humpback feeding frenzy this week, according to naturalists from Puget Sound Express. Groups of 5 to 8 humpbacks are feeding together, including favorites Pinnacle, Divot, and her brand new 2026 calf, who treated guests to an adorable first breach. Frankenstein and Bandit joined the action with lunging, peck slapping, and plenty of surface play. Orcas, gray whales, harbor seals, sea lions, and bald eagles rounded out a spectacular week on the water. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers half-day and full-day guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds, Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Their new full-day tour even includes a 2-hour stop on San Juan Island. Orcas, humpbacks, gray whales, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory, well, it goes to Mike. Hey, Mike, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
My wife and I moved here from New York City and found this great guy. It got pricey, but because he was good to us over the years, we stayed loyal to him. But then one day I got an increase that was quite unacceptable. So I made one phone call. I didn't do any shopping. My wife told me to call First Mark.
Mike, were they able to save you and your family money?
Oh, yes. It was over $100 a month.
What would you tell others they can expect when they call First Mark?
The most competitive pricing that you can find. And they had terrific customer service. Even if you're on the phone with them, you can tell they have a smile on their face, so you can tell they love what they're doing.
Do you wish you would have made that call earlier?
I was just kicking myself as you were speaking because I didn't do it sooner.
Well, you just heard. Mike did it. My family did it. You got to do it too. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. That's firstmarkinsurance.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Spring is here and it's time to call Integrity Roofing and Construction, your trusted local roofing team. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected all season long. Spike O'Neill here. Visit IntegrityRC.com to schedule a free roof assessment and video inspection today. Serving our community with over 10 years experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with everything from simple roof repair to full renovation. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com or call 206-202-ROOF.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
All right, we got to go fast. Song. There we go. Letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest.
Okay, we're going to skip the first two, and I'm going to go with Don the Amazing. John, glad you're back. Have you considered changing the name of the show to the Sometimes John Curley Show? Though I suppose, just like the drunken-sounding little Hudson Mailman song, sometimes a break is good to give the listeners a chance to miss you. And missed have you been this week and last?
Oh, thank you. Hee-haw Aaron says, wait, what, a prison wallet? I'm so confused. They actually have wallets in prison? I bet Sherry would know.
Yeah, I do. Okay, I do.
Kendall in 360. Why was John gone yesterday? Did he have some Tuesday boy responsibilities
he had
to attend to?
You whizzers. A ballot theft. Curtin Ording says, the man with a purse profile.
Elliot in Seattle says, of course, in order to get 5-year sentence, you'd have to have a judge and prosecutor that are going to take the case.
Jesse B says, I don't think he's in the union. I just think he's just stupid.
Nikki from Tacoma says, John, I'm a union worker. I'm a carpenter, and I have a sign-up sheet, and I'm collecting signatures. So unless unless he's a union guy that works in the office, he's not an actual union worker.
Okay, got it. Yeah, there's a distinction.
Wow, union people agree with me.
Dwayne in the QFC says the ballot thief is driving a Chevy product.
Chrysler.
A Chrysler product. This type of behavior is understandable.
It's important for the joke.
I get it.
The chicken murder case. Biscuit Everett says, I've been waiting since the beginning of April to hear the outcome of your chicken bird trial. So what happened? Is the goal to postpone telling us to keep the listeners on edge? No. Oh, come on.
Oh.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
So many.
It's Chuck's fault. He went long.
He in the clipboard. All right.
Hang on, I gotta get there.
Oh, okay, Joe. Speaking of valuable time. Joe!
Okay, this is from Paul from Sammamish. He has 2 small claims court haikus. Pooch inclinations. McNuggets are too tempting. No payday for Dick. Pooch inclinations. McNuggets are too tempting. Cleo M. Justice. I see why he said pick one. They're very similar.
Wow, Joe, she read ahead.
That's all she wrote.
Let's do the show. Let's do another hour. Yeah, let's do it right this time.
Okay.
Right this time. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nate.
Thanks, John. Lakewood, North 5 and South 96. That right lane blocked from police activity. This is where a chase ended, so quite a distraction for drivers. Scattered backup started Gravely Lake Drive. South 5, we are packed from the mall to the scene. Tacoma to Olympia at about 50 minutes. Again, this is the only backup between Tacoma and Olympia and vice versa. Federal Way, South 5, just past South 288. That HOV lane blocked from a crash. You're backed up bumper to bumper to South 216th, 35 minutes from Seattle to Federal Way. South Center to Bellevue is at 45 minutes. That's double the norm, and we have a thick backup coming off I-5 all the way through the S-curves. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. You're jam-packed from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. Here in Seattle, South 5, bumper to bumper from Northgate Way to I-90. North 5 is starting to clear out pretty quickly. And Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both at 40-minute commutes. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. Northwest News.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
I had pain. I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
How does your roof look after this winter?